I sold my soul to the bottle. Still none of my friends have left me yet. I'm the same man I was since the age of 13, and I've lived my life with no regrets. If you're looking for some freedom, all it takes is 10 drinks minimum. If you're looking for rhyme or reason, all it takes is 10 drinks.
Oh man, we're live. It's 10 Drink Minimum. I'm your host, Chris Burnett. This show is sponsored by Topo Chico Seltzer. I'm wearing my Topo Chico shirt. James is here.
Hi, everyone. Very awesome to be here for this show.
Oh, man, I apologize to everybody. There's a hum in the background. It is like 100 and some. I mean, everybody's aware. Everyone's aware that
It's
like
summertime. I'm pretty sure they know.
It's 101 and probably about 110 in the studio. So we have an AC and 2 fans running. I'll pull that out for the podcast. But we have for our 17th anniversary show, Smiley.
Wow.
We have a very special guest. Nohelani Ader today. She's out partying on a Sunday.
Good for her.
We have a very special guest, Nohelani Ader.
Hello, everyone.
Boom! I think I hit it.
You
right.
did great, man.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
I'm proud of me. Welcome to the show.
That's a great start.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Man, today is going to be, it's not going to be a light topic, I don't think, today for our 17th anniversary. James, James doesn't even know what happened here.
I'm in the dark.
He just walked into this show blind. He has no idea.
I
what's
walk
happening.
into all these shows blind.
Sometimes, yeah.
I mean, I think that's what makes it.
Yeah. Nohelani, you've been in the food and beverage industry for quite a while. How long is that? How long have you been doing that?
I am creeping up to 10 years,
10
realistically.
years.
Yes.
So on the topic of the service, food, and beverage industry, I would say you're a professional.
I would assume so. I would hope
Yeah.
so after this many years and
Yeah.
all of the extravagant past that I've been through.
I too saw, we're all kind of, so I was in the service industry for 10 years, restaurant. I did some alcohol. Mm-hmm. No, bartending or anything like that. But Smiley's been a bartender. He's owned a bar.
Yeah, owned a bar. I've been working in restaurants. That was my first job, 15 on. So
Amazing.
So he kind of, so we're not strangers to what we're probably going to get into today.
Absolutely.
So do we want to kind of do some, well, first of all, you've been a bar, I met you when you were a bartender.
Right.
So what is your signature cocktail?
It's really hard to say. It's more of a signature style, I want to say. More so, I definitely focus on my culture, which comes from Hawaii, but also my bloodline, which is Filipino-Korean. And, of course, I was basically raised in New Mexico, so a lot of that New Mexico culture is definitely influenced in there.
Okay.
It changes per season, per year, wherever I'm at. One year, it was a blueberry lavender pina colada. The next year, it was a tropical vegan milk punch that was located at Z Lounge. So it was it changes. So there's a lot of tropical notes, obviously, me personally, but it still packs a punch, still packs a lot of heat usually.
Did you say blueberry lavender or blue lavender?
Blueberry lavender pina colada.
I want that right now.
Honestly, it's fucking fire.
I want that right now.
really, because I fell for the milk punch. I'm all,
Yeah, dog, and it's vegan. It was such a good seller.
I bet. It's so hard to find good milk punch.
It is, honestly. Only a few.
Yeah.
Where did you first start learning to make cocktails?
Oh, man. So if we're going to go that far, I started at Billy's Long Bar.
Holy
No
shit.
way.
Holy
Wait,
crap.
when? What year?
This was maybe in, maybe anywhere between 2015 and 2016, maybe earlier.
I first moved here in 2007, and I would frequent Billy's Long Bar. I lived right behind it in those apartments.
Oh, God,
And-
toxic.
Yeah. And they had those, Tuesday nights, it was $2 for any pint.
Wait, what?
In 2007, yeah.
Holy
And they had
shit.
50 beers on tap, so I would go over on Tuesdays. So we would do this podcast on Tuesdays. My old co-host and I. He would come over, we would go to Billy's Long Bar, and we would spend $10. That was like 5 beers.
And you were just happy.
Yeah, and then we'd walk over and do the podcast.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and then I didn't hate the food.
I freaking love food. Actually,
Yeah.
let's just make a statement out there.
Yeah.
Billy's Long Bar has probably one of the best bar food in Albuquerque.
I've said that on this show. I was like, man,
I believe
you know,
it.
Yeah.
It was good. I mean, it was like a really weird mix of like bro dudes, MMA. Like, this is 07. The Affliction shirt wearing guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, God, not the Affliction.
I have a funny story about that place. So they had the patio, right? Some dude goes out, gets in his truck, backs it up, hits the patio,
I love that.
drives forward, leans out the window, throws up all over the door of his truck.
Beautiful.
So the bouncers go out there and they help him repark. They get him out of his truck. They check the building. The building's kind of scratched a little bit. It's fine. Help him get a cab home. Then come and clean off the truck. And someone's like, why did they clean the truck off? I was like, because that's called evidence that they overserved him and let him get in a car.
Facts.
Yeah.
Big facts.
Yeah, that's not just them being considerate.
No, it was not.
Oh, my God.
That's called watching your ass.
That guy didn't throw up. What are you talking about? We got him a cab. And he went home.
What is throw up? Oh, my God.
And then one night I was in there. I think it was St. Patrick's Day. Packed in there.
Absolutely.
I turn and look at this guy, and he's got the little cabbie hat on. He's got the, he's traditionally Irish-looking guy, and he's like standing there, and he's like got that look on his face, and he kind of like does that little head weave back and forth. And I tell my friend over here, I was like, that dude right there is about to throw up, and he did,
No.
and nobody saw it but me. So I had to go over and tell the wait staff. I was like, that guy just puked on the floor over there.
Oh.
No one saw it. Like nobody saw it but me. It was pretty funny.
Hey, honestly, for only one person to see, that's pretty shifty. Good for him.
And that place is always pretty. I mean, on days like that, that's packed.
It's definitely an environment that everyone enjoys. I still love it.
That was one of those places where you went in and you're like just chilling, and all of a sudden like the Jägermeister team would come in, or
Fucking Fireball.
the
or
Camel
Red
Fire-
Bull.
Fireball, yeah. And then they're like, if you order a shot of Fireball, we'll give you the sock hat. And you're like, hell yeah.
You're like, 3 Fireballs, please.
3 Fireballs for me and my friends. Yeah. Billy's Long Bar, nice.
It was wild. It was, honestly, it was fucking scary. The women back there, a lot of them are good friends now, but there's a few of them that were definitely just evil. And that's
Oh.
okay. It's all right. I was like, it was in between of like, do I quit now and go for a different job, or do I continue? And I continued. And honestly,
Interesting.
I'm not mad at it.
No?
I'm not mad
I mean,
at
you
it.
weren't making anything like crazy there. You're probably making, well, you're going to make like a liquid marijuana.
Absolutely. Definitely. It was like
Sex on the beach.
considering now where I'm at, it definitely is way easier than
Yeah.
anything, obviously. But
I mean, I'm not downplaying it. I'm just saying, like,
oh my God.
like,
Long on iced teas.
it's
things
just one of
like
those
that.
places where people don't order fucking. Well, I mean, they probably do now.
Yeah.
It's a, yeah.
No, it was more so of when you're learning a brand new skill and
Mm.
there is people yelling at you and you don't know how to split a goddamn check and they're just like, you are fucking trash. I'm like, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing.
I'm glad you used that word skill. Glad you used that word skill. That's going to come in to play in this conversation today.
Absolutely. All the vocabs.
So then Billy's Long Bar. Wow. So what made you like to, we're like, well, I need to move on.
Honestly, management.
Yeah.
What a topic. It was very toxic management. It was like a heaping story of a grown man who enjoyed kind of getting off into being a dick to younger women.
Yeah.
It was kind of that style. And honestly, not hating on anyone who works there now, but it continues to be that style. It's very misogynistic, but it happens. It's going to keep happening, honestly.
I think that's an ongoing thing, probably
Always.
theme of all this. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But,
I was
it's
just
all
saying,
right.
like, like geckos.
What a topic. Another one.
Oh man.
Oh, the entire reason I owned a bar was just to spite Wally.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a topic.
Yeah. Yeah. He had a play. That play. What's it called now? Fantang or?
I think so. Fang
Yeah.
Tang.
That
It's,
was his bar. His bar was right there.
Yeah, we could like see each other from across the parking lot.
Carlos on the hill.
This is only here because we hate you.
You're just
'cause
like
you're
across
a
the window,
bastard.
just be like, yeah.
Oh yeah, from across the street. It was a glass bar. You could just do that.
I fucking love that. Honestly, Fantang, oh my God.
That only existed, and we painted it purple just to piss off Wally.
I love that. Honestly,
pretty
congratulations.
Spite bar.
Spite Bar. Welcome to the Spite Show, by the way.
I'm all about
We
it.
consider ourselves a Spite podcast here, where we. But I feel like it's warranted. I mean, there's reasons, and that's why she made. So the reason why this all came about. You made a post on Instagram, on social media.
Yes, sir.
There's a place that is not going to like us after today. I think they're very aware that they're not liked right now.
Very aware.
Hotel Zaz, right? The Z Lounge.
Yeah, so it's more so Hotel Zaz, and I work for Z Lounge, and they are, just to kind of clear up any facts, they are two separate businesses completely.
I did not know this.
Yeah, so Hotel Zaz would lease out their liquor license. And then Z Lounge, my previous boss, he essentially owned Z Lounge and had the liquor license.
Okay. So it's not one establishment.
It's not one establishment. Realistically, we collectively worked under one roof, and it was atrocious.
So for people who don't know, there's the Central Avenue in Albuquerque's the historic Route 66. In the last 8 years, there's been this push to take all these old motels on Route 66 and refurbish them and kind of turn them into these Instagram hubs, if you will.
That's a good way to put it, actually.
And they're trying to pull influencers, and it's just like I'm not a fan of it.
You're so right. I'm
not a fan of it, and I'm a fan of them refurbishing the places, and I think Elvado, I think they did a pretty great job with it.
They killed it.
Do you think they killed it? Oh, you think they did a good job?
They did a good job.
They did a good job. I feel like they did but here's why I say they did a good job. They kind of tore everything down to as bare bones as they could, and then they rebuilt it. They didn't do this thing where you rent a house and the landlord had just came in and just painted over everything as quickly as he could.
White everything.
to make it look like nice from a distance.
Landlord special, man.
The landlord special. I'm not saying Hotel Zaz did that. But I did say, oh, it looks nice. And then I got up close to it and went,
I see what they did there.
They didn't really just fix anything. They just painted it.
That's a new color.
That's a new colors. Colors plural.
Colors,
Very
that's
colorful.
True. That's true. I notice every time I walk by, I'm all, what happened to this place?
And then they hired the quote unquote influencer folks, and they came in and peace signed in front of things, kicked their hat out, and all of a sudden it's a place to be, right?
Absolutely.
Am I wrong on this?
I see no lies here.
I don't care for all that. And the ones I don't like it because who are these people that are experts? You know what I mean? I don't know.
People with money. Let's be honest. It's
That's
people
what it
with
is.
Money.
It's well-to-do white people with money. I said it. Yeah. I don't know. And they go anytime I go to a place now and they have that fake green grass wall or green bush wall with the fluorescent peace and love or whatever in the fucking wall or
the photo op wall.
The photo op wall.
I know what you're talking about.
I don't want to be a part of it. I don't.
I'll move on to a different restaurant that does not have this here.
So you said it at the beginning. You said well, it depends on wherever I'm at, and it's all derived from my culture, and then living here. I feel like this stuff shits on our culture. I've lived in New Mexico my whole life. I know no other place, but nowhere in New Mexico do I know of that is fluorescent, fucking red and blue and white. And has a green grass wall with love and peace and chicken grease or whatever the fuck they put on there, right?
Love, peace, and chicken grease.
Whatever,
I love
yeah.
that.
You know what I mean?
That's gonna be my next fluorescent sign.
and it just feels, and it's so we did a thing on this show because there's a place down here on 8th Street on the corner. It used to be another business, used to be an Italian restaurant.
Okay.
And I went in there and I was like, this is to take pictures in. it's a place to take pictures in.
Absolutely.
And then they brought out the food, and I was like, wow, the food looks amazing. And it did not taste good. It was
didn't
like
taste good.
literally to look good.
Yep.
So you could take pictures and put it on your Instagram.
100%.
And it's like, these are not going to last here.
Yeah.
I hope they don't.
There's a lot of people, and that's a whole actual topic, which is awesome that you bring it up, is this place Instagrammable? Because
Yeah.
if it's not, then usually it won't pop off.
No.
You know what I mean? A bunch of mom and pop places, small hole in the walls, you
Yeah.
know, they don't thrive because it's not Instagrammable. It's not social media present allowed.
Yeah.
And honestly, that is a whole topic because even
Yeah.
the small hole in the walls have shitty plastic plates, flies going around everywhere, but it's the damnest best food
Best
you'll
food
ever
you'll ever
have.
have. I always tell someone that doesn't live here, I say, if you find a Mexican food restaurant and it used to be a house, you're going to want to eat there. Like, that's almost a given, right?
If you hear people screaming in the background, the food's going to be bomb.
Well, I'll tell you this. Like, it's got to the point now where if you're from New Mexico and you know good places, you don't
Yeah, you don't even
post
tell
about
anyone.
You
it.
don't.
Like, I
You
moved
just
in.
bring people there.
Yeah. And then you tell them, watch what you tell about this
I'm like,
place.
shh.
Because, like, I moved into, here's the crazy one. I lived in Albuquerque. Like,
I got this food from that. You don't need to know.
yeah. I'd lived in Albuquerque 15 years until I bought this house. Mm-hmm. And there's a restaurant in this neighborhood that I had never heard of until I moved over into this neighborhood. And, like, Obama had been there. And, like, anytime you go, it is packed to the gills.
I love
And
that.
delicious.
And
I
I
love
won't say it on the air.
Hey, don't worry.
And my girlfriend gets mad. She's like, do not talk about this place on your show.
Honestly, gatekeeping allowed.
Gatekeeping is allowed, yeah. And then I saw you the other night downstairs by the El Rey.
Oh, and Founders.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I was supposed to say it. No,
Oops.
no, it's fine. But see, I feel like that place is kind of like one of the ones that like has spawned a lot of like, what do you call it? Copiers. Mm. But they do it. I feel like they do it right.
They'd be doing the damn thing. Always.
Yeah.
Always been a good supporter of Founders. We love
Well,
them.
and here's what we're gonna
They
get
do,
into.
they do it right though.
They do.
They are mean to you right off the bat,
Right off the bat.
and that's what I want from a speakeasy.
Yeah.
They're like, listen, if you take a shit in that bathroom, we will not let you back in
You're
here.
banned for life.
You know
and
how
I'm
many
like-
shits I've taken in there?
I'm all like,
Oh no.
oh, okay, cool. I like this place.
Hey,
Yeah.
Safe shits are allowed.
Oh man. Well, there is a hidden bathroom upstairs.
Hidden.
Yeah.
It's like across the street on the sidewalk.
Nope. See, that's how hidden it is. You didn't know it was there, and it's
Oh,
right.
no.
You've seen it every time you've walked in there.
You probably walked by it.
You have if you've gone there.
Honestly, thanks for not gatekeeping that.
Yeah. But and that's the one you're like, hey, I have to go use the bathroom upstairs. Like, okay.
Very good.
Yeah.
Okay, I love that.
But I love that place because here's how you know it's a good place to work. Mm-hmm. They've kept the same people forever. Mm-hmm. You know, like Josh finally left because he wanted to go back to school. Mm-hmm. But other than that, they had the same people that they opened the door with all the way through to almost now. Mm-hmm. Very rare people have left, and that tells you something.
It does, honestly.
That means they get taken care of. You know. And I was talking to one of them. They do. Mm-hmm. You know, I've gone to their Christmas party, and it was pretty wild.
There's some fun shit that happens there
Yeah,
for sure.
For sure.
For sure.
And that's the thing. Like, you go to like another place, you never see turnovers. Anodyne. Mm-hmm. Never.
Yep.
Some of those people have been there since I've lived in Albuquerque.
I know.
And I'm like,
Lifers.
I'm like, how do you still work here? And they're like, oh, I make this amount of money in like 3 days.
And it's
like-
easy. It's simple. Get in, get out.
Yeah. And they're like it's easy. I take a bottle of whiskey, pour it 3/4 into a glass, and then spray a little Sprite in it, and then here you go.
And then you keep people coming back.
Yeah. And other than that, there's there's other places I'm sure, but I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And so, what happened at the Z Bar? Mm-hmm. I don't know what happened. You tell us.
Oh, man. What a topic. So, before we get started on my
Okay.
story, this
Sure.
is not me speaking upon my team at all. This is just mine personally. And I'm not here to talk ill will at all with Hotel Zaz or Z Lounge, but, my story is my story overall. So, my previous boss, I truly don't have any ill intent to talk negative with him. It's not that he was a bad person. He wasn't evil. He just really wasn't fully there. He wasn't committed. He's he's a rich man who just thought that he can open a bar and it makes profit right away.
Oh my God, I've worked for that. I've been in that. I've been in a situation where I worked at a restaurant. My first job, I grew up a farmer kid, so working on the farm was first job. Second job was working at a Tasty Freeze. This couple owned it and had owned it and operated it for like 30 years or whatever, and sold it to a rich guy who wanted to get in the restaurant business. And the building's no longer there. The business is no longer there. It's fucking insane how
it happens. It happens all the time. It's people with money who think that they can do a couple of Google research and they think they know everything. And don't get me wrong, he did what he had to do in the predicament that he was in, whereas he hired young kids who are broke, who know what they're doing and who are passionate. Absolutely. Like, it was a passion project for sure, where my business partner and I, who I will not disclose his name, but we did it because we wanted to create an environment that made sense for the next generation of bartenders, next generation of people who want to be in like the food and beverage industry, which is incredibly important. And, after a while, when things weren't obviously going his way or not going how he expected, he started to micromanage. And, it happens. I don't blame him. It is his business. It is his money. He was doing everything on his own personally. No partners, no loans. It was out of his own pocket. So I definitely give him a lot of credit for what he tried to do. And definitely want to say, I always appreciated the position he put me in. He put a lot of trust into me, and I want to make sure that I did a great job because it's my name and my personal face and my figure who I am in this industry. For a real shit pay, let's be honest. Yeah. It always is.
Always.
And after a while, it kind of was like he didn't take it seriously. And I think that's what kind of drove us insane, was he did not take any of this seriously. When accidents would happen, there was a time where he wanted to just cold fire X amount of people. I'm like, you don't do that to people. Allow them to learn from their mistakes. If they fuck up again, absolutely. But, be a better person by allowing mistakes to happen, because we are all human beings, especially with young new bartenders or new food and beverage industry employees. They're going to fuck up. Yeah. But it's up to you to decide what you want to do with that. Is you can completely make them cold-hearted and they're going to go off and do more shitty things, or you teach them what is the best way we can do so you can keep your job but also learn a very important trait.
I mean, there is a time when you have to cut someone loose.
Absolutely.
It's one of those but it's obvious.
It's very obvious.
It's very obvious. Now but if you're firing some, it's obvious. You go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. What I believe in is just like, if you can allow someone to show that they are sorry, that they are worth keeping around and everything, allow them to prove themselves. I've been in so many positions where I truly fucked up, and not a lot of people gave me chances, but look where I am today. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't try to fix it.
Right.
And I think it's important for leaders in our industry to understand that people will fuck up. They're going to fuck up many times. And I think that's the biggest part of growth, is having someone mentally ready to teach you the way of how to be better as a human, but also in this industry if they want to keep this shit as a career. I don't understand why we want to keep this crap as a career, but it is good money.
Yeah.
I have very fond memories of waiting tables.
That's why I love this shit, and I hate that I love it. But, to be someone better is something that a lot of people lack, honestly. And it's kind of depressing as shit, especially in Albuquerque. But, yeah, after a while, my boss, I definitely told him into his face after multitudes of, we have weekly meetings, and I'll be like, yo, we need to do this, we need to do that. And it was just kind of brushed off to the side when I told him, hey, I honestly felt very disrespected that you do not have our backs ever, that the hotel keeps talking all this crap and we're always in the wrong, yet you give us very little credit, very little benefits, anything like that, and it's just brush it under the table, brush it under the carpet. It's fine, get over it, you'll get over it, we'll work it out. I'm like, there's never a we'll work it out, it's I will work it out, and I'm going to just continue to plummet my mental health. And that's what happened. And after a while, my staff was like just so sick of it, and I can feel it. You can feel their aura, like, I fucking hate this job. I hate walking in And
Body language.
it is. And I know that they told me straight up that they were sticking it out because of me, because of everything that I've put in the effort to keep them around, to make sure they stay paid, that they have a healthy work environment. But it was out of my control after a while. That why would they stay? Was it just for money? No, they stayed because they cared. They gave two fucks about me because they know how much effort and heart I put into it. After a while, they're like, no, we can't do this anymore. And that's when I knew there's no going back. There's no fixing anything. And that's what happened. That's the whole truth of it, is the team got so sick of that location. And it wasn't management. It wasn't, at least personally, myself and my business partner. It was the higher ups and then the partners who was with my previous boss.
Yeah.
They were so fucking sick of them.
Well, and when you work with people who, like, that's a hard thing to do, too. Because, like, when you're skilled and you know how everything's supposed to work, and you have someone that is now above you in the hierarchy and they don't know shit, it's a tough way to work.
Absolutely.
And especially if they are not open to listening and they have the attitude of, well, I'm the money person, so you need to listen and you need to do what I say.
100%.
Then that really doesn't work that often, and usually it ends up being a situation like what happened.
Absolutely.
And needs to happen. I mean, it's a learning experience two different ways. It's like, you guys were like, well, we learned that we need to get the hell out of this environment.
Absolutely.
And then those people are like, wow, we created an environment where a whole bunch of people, the whole staff quit.
The whole staff.
The whole
left.
fucking staff quit. Like,
Wow.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was definitely it was a collective decision.
I bet it would have to be.
It would have to be, because
Yeah.
it was,
Have a-
without them, like, I couldn't do it by myself. You know what I mean?
no.
It was them. It was their bar. And, it is what
I've
it
only
is.
been in one walkout, but yeah, that's
It was hard. It really was. And it blows my mind, because these kids, they learned how to bartend. So the Z Lounge team, they learned how to bartend from my business partner and I. And they've been many times, people have like, hey, you should come work for me.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But they're like, nah, we're going to stay here. We're going to stick it out as a team. And we did stick it out as a team. And then we walked out as a team. And it was honestly very empowering, because I know that they felt that no one is going to listen to them. I've told them many times, the hotel and my boss, I'm like, hey, like, we got to do something. This is, nothing is working. The hotel is constantly on our ass, and they're constantly giving my team a really hard time. And then all shit really started to fall through the moment I checked one of the hotel owners. She disrespected two of my staff members, continuously has been disrespecting the bar team. And I finally got so sick of it, because they were like, I am so tired of the hotel. So I sent a hefty message, and don't get me wrong, I was never perfect at all in a lot of situations, and that's fine.
Sure.
But you're allowed to be wrong, and you're allowed to reprimand yourself. You're allowed to be like, hey, I fucked up.
Sure.
But that wasn't the case with the hotel. They were never wrong. The second you checked them, it was over with.
Yeah.
Events were canceled that probably could have made us at least $10,000.
Jeez.
And it hurt. It hurt the team. It hurt my boss's pockets. And I'm just like, you fucked with their financial stability this week. How does that feel?
Yeah.
They don't care. They don't care.
No, it didn't affect them.
No, absolutely not. And it truly broke my heart, because people with money, they don't think about poor people's finances ever.
No.
Ever. And I'm like, how dare you?
Unless they were poor.
Yeah.
And then they
Never were.
go, yeah.
Never were.
No.
Both of those. And it is what it is. And it really sucked. And I was like, you know what? Cool. And then she was just super petty about not wanting to talk to me. I'm like, hey, you know that we can talk this out and we can work through it. We don't have to be friends. But just refused to talk to me. Ignored my messages. I'm like, you literally have zero conflict. What is it called?
Conflict resolution.
Conflict resolution skills. And I'm like, dude, put your ego away. And it never did. It continued, and it got worse.
Yeah.
And then she's just started attacking many more of my other staff members in a very unprofessional manner.
Wow.
And I'm like, I am so tired of it. And that's when I knew, I'm like, yeah, I can't keep holding on anymore.
No.
I tried.
Well, so I am a owner of a business now. Like I'm a quarter owner, and we started a wrestling federation.
Congratulations.
Last night was our second show.
That was
Woohoo.
amazing.
But I'll tell you this, like, you know, we have the wrestlers will come, and you know there's a big thing with them to like if you're training to become a wrestler, then you got to come and set up the ring.
Got it.
Now setting up the ring is very, very tough. It's heavy.
I believe
It's
it.
a lot of hard work. Now I went the first show and I helped them set the ring up. Today I was there breaking down the ring, and you know, people are like, well, why are you doing this? Well, just because I'm the owner doesn't mean I should stand over there and watch you do it. I'm going to lift it. I'm going to, you know.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, number one, I'm not a wrestler. I've never been a wrestler. I know a lot about wrestling. I've watched it my whole life. But number one, if they're going to do good, you know, if I want these guys, the product, the people in the ring to do good work, I want them to be like, well, I work for one of these people, and you know, he was there with us putting the ring together.
Absolutely.
He was there with this, like, you know, he saw how it works. He saw how, you know, and I'm behind the scenes, and da-da-da-da. And, like, the thing with especially the problem with this upper class of people is they look at the service industry, especially restaurant workers, they look at it as unskilled labor, and that is absolutely false. And craft cocktails, the word is craft. The people who make craft cocktails are very skilled artisans. Not some people you can just train. Not everyone can do it.
Yep.
And it's for definite sure. I mean, you know, a person could go learn how to make a few drinks.
Absolutely.
Pour a beer, you know, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. I've seen
But
so many people mess that up.
But I mean, but in this day and age, the kind of drinks that people are making and the kind of like service people are wanting, it takes a very skilled labor force to do that.
Absolutely.
And guess what? If you fucking treat them like shit, they'll walk right out the door into someone else's door that will pay them more, treat them better, and that's how it goes.
It's how it goes.
Because that's how that's how the society is right now. Finding people, because first of all, training a person to work costs a lot of money.
A lot of money.
Costs a lot of money. And when you train someone and you put all that time and money into it and then treat them like garbage and they walk out the door, you've just trained them for somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
You know
probably
what I
the best thing I've heard, actually.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've just trained that person for somebody else. And they also you've trained them what they will not stand anymore.
100%.
And True Consequences podcast says recruiting is expensive too. It absolutely
Hell
is.
yeah, it is.
But I guarantee those guys at Founders, many people have walked in and said, hey, you should come work for me. Guaranteed.
Absolutely.
People have walked in when you're bartending and said, hey, you should come and work for me.
Absolutely.
And it's constantly happening. And treat your people like shit, they'll be gone.
Absolutely. And
You know?
it's literally what happened.
Yeah.
It is. Oh, God.
And every one of you guys will easily find a job if you haven't already. You know? Because people are going to be like, you know, hey, you already know how to make a fucking old-fashioned. Sick. Come here. Come and get in here.
Like, easy. Cool. You can
Easy,
do the
cool.
basics.
Yeah. And because that is the basics, right?
It should be.
See, old-fashioned used to be like a top-tier drink. Now that's the baseline.
That's the baseline. If you don't know how to make an old fashioned, get the hell out.
Right. Isn't that crazy? Can I have a beer?
Oh yeah, sure thing.
Um,
But you know, I judge every place just by how it makes its Manhattan, and so like that didn't even used to be a thing.
no.
It'd be like amazing if I could go to a place and I'm like, oh wow, you refrigerate your vermouth.
Yeah.
That's still a topic, actually.
Yeah.
It blows my mind.
And now you go to places and they're like, you go, well, first of all, can I have a beer? You'll go to a place and like, I know you guys hate this, but people will walk up and they're all, I don't know what I want. What should I get? And people expect you to make a drink for them.
Yep.
That's fucking insane.
It drives me nuts. But it is a real question. I don't.
Yeah.
I never hate the customers when they do it. When you're busy as shit, absolutely. Come on, man. Like read the room. But if you're chilling, I'm like, all right, well, you teach the staff to ask these questions, and this is what hospitality is. It's about giving a shit, and that's how people make more money. And it's kind of like, there's a lot of places nowadays, they're all about volume, which is fine, but it's hard. It's truly hard to do craft volume.
Right.
It's disgusting, honestly. It shouldn't be a thing, but it is a thing. And when you teach staff members how to diligently walk through certain conversations, that being one of them, if you have the time for it, then you say, you know what, I can't tell you what you want, but let me try to figure it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what do you normally drink?
What kind of liquor do you like?
Yeah, half the time it's not liquor. I try to stir people away because they're so caught up with, I only drink agave, which is fine. If that's you, that's fine. That's okay. But there's people like, I like bourbon. I'm like, okay.
You have that person that's all, I only drink top shelf, Crown Royal, and you're like, whoa.
You're like, yikes. Okay, here, buddy.
You get that, though.
Absolutely.
Crown Royal, I only drink the best.
And that's fine. That's fine. But I think the biggest one is teaching staff members how to walk through these conversations. Like, what do you like?
Also, you teach customers what they like.
That is true.
You know
that's
what
what Z Lounge was about. And I applaud my business partner. He truly forced people to step out of their palate zone of what they're used to, which is really cool. Because we didn't put any spirits on there. We didn't. Like, the Princess was made out of, the Princess was my my baby cocktail that was on the menu. That was definitely the top seller. That was a vegan tropical milk punch. And it was made with tequila.
Oh.
Some people are like, I can't have tequila. It makes me crazy. And then they
That's me.
drink it. And they're like, well, what the fuck is this? I was like, it's tequila. They're like, no fucking way, man.
I'll drink this and go get crazy in the parking lot.
And I was like, just drink more, man. It goes down like juice. But
Yeah.
the ABV is low as shit, let's be honest. I'm not going to say anyone, but, you know.
Yeah.
But, you know, it takes time. And I think I want to circle back to what you said, that training brand new staff members is the hardest thing in the world, even when they are literally brand new bartenders who's never made a drink in their life.
Right.
A lot of these folks out here, a lot of these leaders in this industry, they do not know how to train a brand new bartender, a brand new staff member. They only strive off of bringing someone who already has a history.
Right.
Which is great too.
Where do they come from?
But if you are able to teach a brand new bartender a skill set that a lot of people cannot get, that's fucking amazing on you, man.
Right.
And I kind of take pride into that because I used to be a volleyball coach when I was younger. And
okay.
yeah, so coaching and understanding that people don't learn one way is the biggest thing in this industry, because there are so many leaders who are like, my way or the highway. I'm like, nah, dog, your way is trash.
I know certain people that you may be talking about, but I know there's certain people that are like, there's only one way to make it, and it's the right way, and that's my way.
My way, absolutely. I'm like, no, absolutely not. I learn every day. There's staff members who teach me something. I'm like, I would have never thought about that. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And dude, the egos are so high right now. I'm like, no, there's more than one way to teach someone and more than one way to learn something. And the biggest thing in the world, not every palate is wrong. For fuck's sake, let's be honest.
Yeah,
every palate is right.
Yeah, people like different things.
Yeah, you like what you like.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Except for Four Locos. Let's not bring that up.
I was about to say Four Loko. I was like, what about Four Loko Gold?
He's like, I drink a couple of sips and then in the morning and I really get going.
Speaking of which,
What's going on here?
we have a tradition on this show, and it depends on if you've done it before or not.
Okay.
Have you ever had Malort before?
Absolutely. Let's do this.
Well, then you're good. You want to do something?
I actually took a picture of that. That's fucking epic.
Oh, isn't that great? Did you
Let
see
me
my
grab.
tattoo?
Oh, God. You're such a slut for that.
Oh, yeah, man. I'm a big-time Malort guy. But, you know, it's a tough thing because, like, if only every business owner, like, they're like, well, I want to protect my business. And it's like, well, okay. Well, then what's your product? Your product is the liquor we sell. And I'm like, it's not. It's not. It's the people who work for you.
Yeah.
It's the people who work. You know what? Founders can be like, you know, I walked in the first day and I was like, oh, cool. I like the way this place looks. Didn't care about the look of it after that. I go back to it because I like the people who work there.
Service.
And I like the drinks that they make.
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody's like, well, you should go check out this place. It looks like this and that.
Mm-hmm.
And I go there and then like I see that their drinks are like poured out of a tap. And I'm like, that's weird. And I don't care for that. And you made a face. You know where I'm talking about. And I find myself back at the same place because I want to go sit at the bar and I want to talk to those guys about why they hate the Beach Boys and you know, and and they'll make a drink and they'll say, here, try this.
Yep.
And I'll be like, whoa, what the fuck is that? And they'll be like, it's peanut butter whiskey that we made, and this and this and this. And I'm like, oh man, I didn't think I'd like that, but I do.
You're like, I hate that. I like
And
it.
and I find myself going back, and I go, I can go buy, like half the time I go into Founders and I drink a Montucky Cold Snack.
What'd you call me?
Montucky Cold Snack.
That's amazing.
And did you see the pegacorn on it for Pride?
Super cute. I was actually no idea what you're drinking, but that
Oh,
marketing.
you need to have one.
I'll try my best. Seltzers, whew, I gotta take it easy.
Oh, well, these are beer. That's a beer. It's an actual beer.
Okay,
it's the
we'll try it.
most ethical brewery in the United States.
Honestly, I can get down with that.
Yeah,
I can get down with that.
And everybody's like, people like, I bought that Montucky that you always talk about, and they're like, it wasn't the best beer I've ever had. I said, and I was like, I never said that. I said it's easy, and they're like, I said, what did it taste like? They're like, it didn't taste like anything. I was like, exactly.
There you go.
It doesn't have a bite to it. It's not disgusting. It's like
It's drinkable.
Drinkable cold beer.
Yep. Yep.
And they
amen to that.
Yeah. And like sometimes you just want to go to a place. Like I love to go to Founders and like, and it's a speakeasy. It can be fancy.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I love when people come in and they try to make it fancy, and then I'll be like, can I get a 40 of Miller High Life in a and they'll go, yeah, and they'll go get it.
They'll go get it.
And I've drank a 40 of Miller High Life down there.
Absolutely.
We used to do flights, like when the what is that? Natty Light brought out those seltzers.
My God. Dude.
They had the seltzers. Did you ever have them?
No, but it sounds beautiful, and I'm just kind of scared.
So their seltzers were really good, and so we would do it. We would do the flight. We would get one of each, and they would pour them in like the champagne glasses, and we'd have a flight of them. And people would be like, "Oh, what are you guys doing?" I'm like, "Oh, we're doing a flight of Natty Light seltzers," and they're like, "What?"
Like fun.
And they're like, whole like level of class went down a little bit, and I'm like, we're here having fun, we're enjoying it.
Honestly, it doesn't matter. The location can still be run down, but still have like the best cocktails.
Absolutely.
100%. It's about the staff. It's about the service and the experience you get.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about Bar Uno.
Do you ever go to?
Love Bar Uno.
Oh, fucking Steve, dude.
Fucking Steve.
Every time I walk in the door, Steve
This is
goes.
for you, Steve.
Steve goes, no. No. Do you know what he did the other day?
What didn't he do the other day?
So this guy came in and was like, finally, a nice little hole in the wall bar. I've been here all week and I couldn't find one. And he's like, oh, okay. What are you doing here? And he goes, oh, I'm from California. I'm buying up a bunch of real estate so we can redevelop it and turn it into Airbnbs. And Steve goes, get the fuck out of my bar. And the guy goes, what? And he goes, I'm serious. He goes, you people are ruining our town. Get the fuck out of my bar. You're not welcome here.
Oh,
and kicked him out.
Steve. We love
Steve.
him. That dude's fucking hilarious.
He's crazy.
All the time.
Yeah. And that bar makes a grip of money.
They do. They do.
And it's like, for people that don't understand, Bar Uno is like, when you say hole in the wall, it is like, can barely fit like 30 people, 40 people.
I want to say less than that.
Man, and then someone's always got a big dog in there, so it's like 30 people and a big dog.
Yes. His name is not Nebula, but Niebla.
Yeah.
That big ass dog.
I've seen multiple different ones.
Oh shit.
There's always like some. It's just a place where there's always one.
Salud. Salad.
Right.
Oof. Here we go.
Malort. Oh yeah.
Beautifully bitter. God damn it.
Hell yeah.
Why do I always smell it first? Why?
I don't know. Well, honestly,
it's
a good trait.
You know what trumps Malort? That little bottle that's next to it. Do you see it up there on top of there?
No, we're not touching that.
I don't want to touch that. I'm going to throw up.
Do you see it? That little thing.
What the fuck is that?
It is a soda. Do not open it.
No.
It is a soda made from what is that plant? That fruit? Duran.
Oh, hell no. Nah.
Oh, my God.
Absolutely not.
So we got that, and for our co-host Billy's last show, crack it open, and it is not like, you can hype a lot of things up and say it's bad. There is no hyping that. It is fucking awful. Now, it tastes good.
I hate that.
But the problem with it is it smells so bad, right? So you drink it and there's the smell, but then as soon as you burp,
Because it's carbonated.
oh my God, it's fucking like almost barf worthy, like immediately.
And it's disturbing to smell something that smells like raw sewage come out of your friend's mouth. You're all,
Absolutely
all
not.
this is wrong.
Yeah.
Thank God we're not drinking that.
Now we're gonna do Malort. We're gonna drop a shot of Malort into a cup of it. Take a shot.
Oh,
I would probably puke.
Oh yeah, we all would.
it was
But
bad.
but so if you like, what would you say to like people who own businesses like that? How would you say they should handle things?
Well, first of all, stop opening a business that you've never worked in, truly.
Correct.
Like, if you've never understood a busser's job or a janitor's job, like,
Right.
do not go into this industry without actually working in it.
Right.
Like, I'm so sick of this conversation. Like, not that you personally, but,
Mm-hmm.
like, they're like, what do you suggest I do? I'm like, don't do it. Just
Right.
don't. Like, I
Well,
don't get it.
And like I've seen that where people buy a business
Mm-hmm.
and they start at the bottom in the business.
And that's great.
And they like work every job
Mm-hmm.
in that place. And partially to understand what everybody's going through, but also someone calls in,
They can do it.
boom, they can pop right in and do it.
Absolutely.
And there's no shame in that.
I
you
agree.
know, a lot of people, okay, and I know there's people who are going to like say something about what I'm about to say. Joe Anderson. Do you know who Joe Anderson is?
Sounds familiar, but for some reason it's... I'm
Sunshine
really-
Theater,
Oh.
Moonlight Lounge, Bar Uno, Launchpad,
Yes.
Inside Out,
There you go.
El Rey. I guarantee you've seen Joe Anderson and you probably didn't know it.
Probably.
Because like he doesn't
Be
look...
outside, like picking up like
He'll be,
roach,
he'll be
like
He's
cigarettes. He's like, I one day went and picked up my car, and whenever
Bird poop. I've seen him.
low spirits, whenever he used to own that,
Uh-huh.
I went to pick up my car the next morning. He was out there pulling the weeds.
working. Good for him.
I've seen him in Launchpad more than one occasion mopping the floor.
Excellent.
And people are like, well, that's because he doesn't want to pay someone to do it. I'm like, yeah, because it's fucking, when you own a business, if you have to bring someone in to pay them for everything, you don't make any money.
You don't make money.
And so, I mean, that's how it works.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Truly.
Margins are razor thin.
Absolutely. That's honestly a good point. Thank you for putting that out.
Mm-hmm.
I think nowadays there's anyone who's rich, they don't want to do that legwork.
No.
Absolutely not. They
Right.
just think like, oh, I'll exactly what happened with Z Lounge. Like, I'm going to hire some kids who are going to not get paid that much and they're going to do everything.
I'll throw a kid $20 and he'll clean all the weeds.
Literally, that's what the fuck we did. So, you know, honestly, I think the next one is just like the most basic human actions. Be fucking nice. Be aware. Listen to people.
Yeah.
But also just like learning to be coachable as
Yeah.
well. I think that's probably the hardest thing that everyone honestly can get better at.
Yeah.
Myself as well. You are not perfect. No matter how rich you are, no matter how great you are, no matter how many articles you have about yourself, is you can always be better and you can always learn a new trait. And a lot of it is learning how to teach people different ways, but also learning to be coachable as well. You know what I mean? I think that's so hard for people to understand, that these kids are broke and they're willing to do almost anything for you to get paid.
Yeah.
We're a slave to the dollar.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you learn to be charismatic as an owner or as someone in a leader area, but also just like management, if you can lead a team knowingly that I'm going to do anything for you, you're going to have that loyalty so
Right.
fucking fast.
Well, and working in the service industry, I had to, when I switched over, because I do like, I'm more into an IT field now, more a business one. And I remember one of the hardest, not philosophy, but like, you know, work ethic I had to kick was, if I'm sick, stay the fuck home, because the service industry taught me, don't call in. If you call in, you're fucking everybody over.
you're a piece of shit.
You're a piece of shit. and then like I remember going to work and I was sick and my boss was like, "Are you sick?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Why are you here? What is wrong with you? Are you stupid?" And he's like, "You're gonna get everyone sick." And I was like, "Well, I didn't want to screw everybody over." And he's like, "You're screwing everybody over for being here." And it took me a long time to like kick that, and I still have it in my head.
Yeah.
Like if I'm not at work, everybody's getting screwed over.
You feel guilty.
Feel guilty.
I've never called in,
Yeah.
and I probably should have a few times.
So many fucking times.
He's
or the
called in
worst
here.
is
He's
where
a
it's like,
liar.
you call in and they don't believe you.
Yes.
That fucking sucks.
Oh, are you hungover? That bullshit.
Like, even if you were hungover, man, stay the
maybe
fuck home. You look
maybe
like
I am.
shit.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But even now, like, mental health days,
Yeah.
people do not believe in that. Especially, boomers and anyone who is absolutely rich, where they're like, no, you gotta get in. I'm like, dude, people don't believe in that. Why don't they believe in mental health days?
Yeah, because it's that. Because okay, so I grew up in a farming and ranching field, and like one thing, like I remember my grandfather, they wanted me to get into this combine and really play some parts, and I was like, I can't do it. I have claustrophobia. No, shut up. You get in there. And it's like, you know, like now I still have trauma from that, like where I think about that all the time to this day. And I'm like 48 years old, and that was like when I was in my teens, you know. And it's that whole like machismo, that whole like, you know, for me growing up, boys don't cry, you know. And then like, but then it's like, you know, they just have that whole like, I don't know, tough, like you gotta be tough.
You need
that's why America.
That tough skin.
That's why America was great back then. We were tough. We didn't have this bullshit. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? And it's like, no, the problems we have today is because you refuse to fucking listen and understand what's wrong with you.
Yeah.
And that's why you like, you know, have domestic violence problems, or you know, whatever, you know, suicidal thoughts, or
everything.
It's because we're not paying attention to the things that we, you know, or that the younger generations are looking at and going, oh, we know that this isn't right. And
fuck this.
Fuck this.
Absolutely. But even the topic of bringing generational curses is so unspoken, but let's be honest. Like, within the food and beverage industry, and honestly almost every industry, they're like, you need tough skin. You need to get over it. Right. You need to suck it up. Those comments are so fucking toxic to the average human being. And even if you are tough skin, you can be fucking just burning up inside, and no one will bat an eye because you are sucking it up. But you go home to yourself and you're like, that fucking sucked. Yeah, I fucking hate myself and I hate everyone around. And I
hate these fucking people. I hate those people.
Absolutely. And that's just so, it's honestly so traumatizing for people to this day. And you know, I was definitely blind to it, and then my business partner talked about it. He was like, no, you don't have to do that. No. You absolutely don't have to suck it up. You can definitely talk about it and express your emotions, express your feelings, and work through it. And if someone else doesn't want to, it's because they do not know how to deal with themselves mentally. Right. Being a toxic person.
Yeah. So the other day, my girlfriend and I were at.
That seems like a lot better than one time I just like threw a cup of pee on my manager. Because that's just how that's how far it had gone to. I was like, so you're gonna fire me? Now you get to smell like pee the rest of the shift.
You're like,
I'm out.
Take
Fuck
this.
you. Fuck you.
That is honestly iconic.
It shouldn't get to that point.
It shouldn't, but it does. People do that. Yeah. The sign that we put out, that my heart was racing. I've never done a walkout before. I've never done something so petty. It literally, I'm like, this could.
Is that on your Facebook?
It definitely is, actually.
I want to post.
It says, fuck Hotel Zaz, Z Lounge team walked.
Yeah.
And I really second guessed myself. I'm like, no, I want to prove a point. And this wasn't a point that I wasn't trying.
Oh, no,
there it is. That it is. Hey, she's iconic. And the amount of support that I've gotten from that post is ridiculous. And it's from so many people within this industry who I would have never thought to see ever on my profile.
Yeah, there it is. Fuck Hotel Zaz Lounge team walked. God. Nice.
Yeah, that's an iconic little photo right there. Yeah. And I'm so happy that we did that because
people need to know.
People need to know. And it is what it is. And it's real. People are like, is this a joke? I'm like, no, it wasn't a joke. Our mental health and our well-being, our finances were shit, and we walked completely. Yeah. And to this day, I'm pretty sure they're having a pool party right now that I put together.
Who's working it?
I don't know. I think they hired some third party, whatever. I'm like, you know what?
Scabs.
At the same time, do what you got to do to make it work for you. And this is talking, you know, specifically to my previous boss. No matter what, he wasn't an evil person to me. No. So I hope that whatever he does, longevity to him. But to everyone who continued to work that event, knowingly what they've done to the staff members of Z Lounge, I'm like, not shame on you, but fuck, dude. Be more aware.
Have a lot of people reached out about it?
A hot.
A lot.
And I think the crazy thing is, and I'm not going to say any names, but many of the ex-Hotel Zaz employees reached out and they felt that I was a safe space to talk about what they went through with Hotel Zaz. So, and I'm glad
Yeah.
because no one deserves that. There's so many people who did not get paid from Hotel Zaz after being fired
What?
for very silly reasons. And that is the people who they are. And I'm just going to say it. They are the people who hire individuals who literally have little to nothing, who barely speak English, and they can get away with certain things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's fucked up.
It's fucked. It is. And it's fucking sad. It's sad that people literally was banging on needing certain checks and they
Yeah.
were shorted almost $300 kind of
Jeez,
thing.
and
And I'm like,
$300 is a
it's
lot
a
to some
lot
people.
of money, man. And I'm like, how dare you? And this is like the amount of people that reached out on Hotel Zaz, who they used to work with, is more than my 10 fingers alone.
Did
And that is horrid.
Did anybody from Hotel Zaz reach out?
Absolutely not. I have everyone blocked, and that's okay.
Oh.
That's okay. And I prefer to keep it that way because they're going to try to manipulate me and try
Sure.
to say that they're going to take me to court, whatever.
for
And
it.
even if they do, I'm like, you know what? We have a lot of proof.
Yeah.
And I'm not afraid to say it on air
Ah.
right now because you know what? You want to fuck with people who literally have nothing. Says a lot about you. You know what I mean? And I'm
Yeah.
like, you know what? We're sick of it. We're sick of dealing with shitty people who constantly lie. And I'm going to just say this. Hotel Zaz, they lie a lot. And the fact that they are so... They're so narcissistic that lying is a part of their personality. And they
Wow.
truly do not see it. That the story switch up daily is so atrocious. I'm like, I literally just talked to the person who you're talking about. And they literally told me that they quit because you tried to flip a story on them. And then they went around saying that X, Y, and Z, they're racist, they're this, they're that. I'm just like, my guy, you're the one who flipped on them. That's why they left. I'm like, you guys are horrible people. I'm sorry, but I've seen it. And I sat there and I accepted it because I wanted to do my job properly for my staff members. That makes me feel like shit.
Yeah.
That truly makes me feel like shit. That I was sitting there allowing certain actions by Hotel Zaz just to make sure to keep my job and keep my staff paid.
Wow.
I feel atrocious. And that's the truth.
Yeah.
And I literally have the goosebumps saying it out loud. I kept that within my own circle, within my parents, and to be able to say this out loud, it feels amazing because I am so tired of allowing that crap to happen. It's disgusting.
Yeah. And
And-
it's more than them. It's a lot of people that, you know.
It's a lot of people in this industry, a lot of owners and a lot of managers. And when are they going to stop? They're not going to stop. You
Well,
know what
I mean, right now, I mean, you'll go to a place and, like, you know, they're not open on Monday and Tuesday because they don't have enough people to staff the place.
Yep.
And it's like finding people that want to get yelled at by a customer because they didn't know there was pineapple in something, or you know, or I don't know, it didn't taste the same as it did last time, or the people they're tired of it.
They're tired of it, man. We
And
don't
they
get
were-
paid enough.
And like the shutdown and the pandemic showed a lot of people, hey, I can go out and find a different job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can learn a different thing to do. Mm-hmm. And the one industry that has suffered the most from it is the service industry. It's, you know, I have a Sonic over here. You can't use the bays because they don't have enough people.
Absolutely.
And constantly, it's like they're constantly out of everything.
Everything.
And it's like, yeah, that's so. I mean, you can't that same like treat the worker like they're just they could be fired tomorrow.
Ooh, that's a topic.
Treating them that way is not going to work anymore.
It isn't. And
No.
people don't care. That's the thing.
No.
People don't care anymore. And I
No.
think that's 100% what we did.
Yeah.
And it took me a long time to really understand that because, you know, kind of being traumatized into like, I need to give but 2 weeks. You know, I want to be respectful.
Yeah.
I want people to see me as a very high-end professional in this field. But I'm like, dog, I am replaceable. I don't care how talented I am.
Yeah.
I am replaceable. And doesn't mean that person who's replacing me is going to be as good as I am.
Nope.
But I am replaceable. And they are going to pay this motherfucker more just to try to take over because
Well,
who's going to take over?
and
after
then for the worker, that's like you know, show up on time for work. show up for the shifts that they have scheduled you. But there's always the one that's like, I've got to do more. I've got to do more. I've got to be super loyal. Here's the truth. You die tomorrow, they'll say something nice about you at the meeting, and then put a thing in the paper for your job opening the next day.
Exactly.
So
they're going to continue.
Mental health, and that's not saying anything good or bad. That's just how it is.
It is what it is.
So treat yourself with respect.
Absolutely.
Treat your mental health with respect.
Mm-hmm.
Take time off. I'm not saying do the bare minimum. I'm just saying don't kill yourself for,
If you're not getting paid enough to
Yeah.
do extra shit,
Yeah.
do the bare minimum.
I walked
That's
away
your
from,
job.
I
Do
walked
the
away
bare
from a
minimum.
job in December, took a pay cut of about $4,000 because I was like, this is killing me. And I don't want to die young.
That's what I'm saying, man.
That's how you do it.
That's what I'm saying.
And if I do, I want to do it doing something I enjoy.
Absolutely.
So I started a wrestling federation.
Good for
There
you.
you
And we'll
Go.
talk about that in the second hour. Nohelani, thank you for coming on. You're going to
you.
stick around for the second hour. This was a really the most serious, probably one of the most serious episodes we've done in fucking 10 years probably.
in the
But-
entire
It's like
field.
actually like a
Yeah.
legitimately serious episode.
Yeah.
Like we don't even we had a presidential candidate on.
we
and
had
I think-
a
and
guy
I
running
think-
for president of the United
That's
States.
and
sick.
I'm like, this is more important.
This is more important than that.
Yeah, mental health.
Yeah.
It is. It's true. People are, before we exit, like, people are truly killing themselves out there for people who
Mm-hmm.
don't give two fucks about them.
That's right.
We don't have benefits. Very light,
No.
very small amount of locations have benefits.
Right.
And, it's hard when you sit there and try to push for these things like good paying wage, benefits, days off, team bonding, everything like that. But it just wasn't enough because, XYZ company continues to shit on us. And I'm like, dude, we tried. The thing
Yeah.
was, I want to sit here and say that my team, we tried to stick it out. We tried to make one of the best bars in Albuquerque. And truly, we weren't perfect, but you can't say that we didn't try. And we had these wicked pool parties. So how do you have a classy lounge and then these wicked pool parties who I made hella connections with? And literally some of that just went unseen with the owners and the operations, XYZ up top. It's so fucking annoying. It's annoying. And my boss was like, yeah, I don't have enough money to give you a bonus. Here's I think $200 something. I'm like, dude, you obviously need that more than me. Deposit that shit. You know what I mean? I'm like,
Right.
it's ridiculous. Oh, I really want New Mexico to be better and just,
Well, it's everywhere. It's not New Mexico. It's like everywhere.
yeah, but right here, right now, I want New Mexico to be better.
Well, and
Fuck.
we'll get into this the second hour.
Yeah.
But I get on the Albuquerque Reddit sometimes,
We love Reddit.
and it's quite interesting how we all are dealing with this influx of people. And we'll get into that in
We'll
the
get
second
into
hour because
that.
you know.
I know.
Smiley may not because he doesn't deal with them. I don't think.
You said fuck these people.
I still have some
Yeah, you love
things.
them.
I still have some things going on
Smiley
here.
loves them.
Oh yeah, that's me. Yeah.
Do you have anything you want to promote or anything?
Honestly, right now, you know what? Hire my business. I have a mobile bartending business
Yeah.
called Aloha Bellissima.
Nice.
So please hire us. We do events. We do a bunch of catering, alcohol involved. We got you.
Nice. Smiley, you're on strike right now.
Yes, I'm on strike right now. So
Who are we striking?
You can
Screen Actors Guild and the.
That's right.
SAG-AFTRA, WGA.
You're not actually in SAG though.
No, I'm just qualified for it.
Yeah.
I
I
love
mean,
that.
and it affects my.
He's a principal extra.
That's so. Yeah, I mean, it still affects me.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, it
I'm not
does.
expecting to have any jobs until next year. So, I mean, it still affects me.
Maybe we'll hire you.
I've
Strike
never
it
gotten
up.
paid for this show ever.
Not this show. I'm not paying you for this show ever.
Okay, cool.
I'm a slumlord boss for this. I don't get paid. Nobody gets paid. For
We
this.
don't
Just like,
get
who
paid.
gets paid?
We don't get paid for podcasts. I love it when someone's like, "Oh man, you guys are super famous. You get paid." I'm like,
No.
what are you talking
We
about?
get Topo Chicos.
We get Topo Chico Seltzer.
Yeah, and I'm freaking proud of it. We're like, yeah,
Yes,
Topo
we're
Chico,
happy with
hell
that.
yeah.
But no, the wrestling. I'm talking about the wrestling federation. Which, speaking of,
Oh yeah, throw me through a table.
our next event, we had our second event last night. 400 plus people in attendance
Holy shit,
in
bro.
the El Rey. Yeah,
Congratulations,
it was
that's
packed.
sick.
It was packed,
amazing.
wasn't it?
It was
Yeah.
great.
We'll talk about that the second hour. But if you would like to come and when I say this, the ticket we did for the first time, like the first event, after the first event, we didn't start selling tickets till days after. We started for the third event. We started yesterday during the wrestling show.
Woo.
And sold 50 premium ringside seats right away.
Oh yeah.
That's amazing.
And I was like, wow, that was badass.
Congratulations. That's
yeah.
awesome.
So get those tickets, dccwtickets.com. August 17th is the next show. It's a Thursday. And everybody's like, why do you do it on Thursday? Because there's not other things on Thursday nights.
Facts.
There's not a Holly Holm fight. There's not the Duke's night at the Isotopes like last night. But we still...
Thursday nights for goth nights, and goths can still go to wrestling
They
and
sure
then
can.
dance afterwards.
Because there's
Fuck yeah.
usually a goth wrestler.
I love that.
But, we were worried because our first event we had 320 people. And we're like, we'll usually, the first event's usually, hyped. It's exciting.
Yep.
And then you have the drop-off. Mm-hmm. Well, we were like, there's definitely going to be drop-off because there's a Holly Holm fight and there's Duke's night. We went up 400 to 400 plus people.
Fuck.
So... awesome. So August 17th, come out. Duke City Championship Wrestling. I'm the commissioner, one of the owners. We'll talk about it second hour because I was I get to get in the ring and do stuff. It's fun.
How exciting.
It's super fun. But we're gonna take a little break. Nohelani's gonna stick around for the second hour for the wavy hour. So you guys stick around.
Let's get wavy, dog.
Yeah, let's get wavy. With that, we are 10 drink minimum.
Shine spotlight on the forehead. You absorb the sweat. Tie the voices to the stigma you created, unabated in your head. And I know the flow creaks even when there's no one around. And I know the flow creaks even when there's no one around. Under control, did the feeling keep you down? Did you wait another day to hit the ground? Never explore again. It will be the season of angry triumph. Under control, did the feeling keep you down? Did you wait another day to hit the ground? If I ever explore again, it will be the season of angry triumph.
I sold my soul to the bottle. Still none of my friends have left me yet. I'm the same man I was since the age of 13, and I've lived my life with no regrets. If you're looking for some freedom, all it takes is 10 drinks minimum. If you're looking for rhyme or reason, all it takes is 10.
Oh man, we're back. It's the Billy / Holly Ann, I guess maybe are. Holly Ann's not gone, but she's just not here today. My name is Chris Burnett. This is 10 Drink Minimum, sponsored by Topo Chico Seltzer. Smiley is in the house.
I am. I'm in the studio today.
Yeah, and filling in for Holly Ann is Nohelani Ader.
Yeah. Good
Yeah.
job again, man.
Dang.
Good job.
It's because you were like, it sounds like Darth Vader, and I went, oh fuck, I can remember that.
I can remember that.
That's a good. You knew exactly how to tell me. You're like, it sounds like Darth Vader, and I went, okay, I like Darth Vader. He's scary. So
Good for you. I'm sorry. Whatever gets you there,
well,
man.
we've got to have some levity this hour. We were a little. I don't think we were too heavy. I feel like the first hour was actually really great. I feel like we all kind of understand because we've all fucking been there. And it's weird because I'm an IT guy. I'm still in the service industry.
Yeah.
And someone goes, no, you're not. I go, yes, I am. People put in tickets and I have to go fix their computer. And then, they do they're like, did he do a good job? And then they'll complain or they'll whatever.
Yeah.
There it
Like,
is.
Hey, that's still customer service.
I have to go talk to people. I have to say, what was the problem? And then they go, I don't know. The thing I used to click on used to be there. Now it's over there. And I've got to figure out why. And then, I don't know.
Good for you.
That's the service history. But
Always and forever.
This is true.
It's very true. And then they'll be like, wow, he didn't fix it like I wanted to fix it.
I still have to pay a lot of money for it.
We pay for
Oh,
that
God.
service and
Like, suck my ass, bro.
fuck you, bro. I talk to you about Nebraska football and I don't care about it.
Dude, those conversations.
Yeah.
Like, I shouldn't be here, but here I am.
There we are. So last night was the second night of the Duke City Championship Wrestling.
Amazing.
Smiley's first time. He got to go.
It was
What
great.
did you
Yeah.
think? What did you think?
Well, for one thing, those stage seats are awesome.
Yeah.
I like that they were handing out glasses so we could all look like you.
That's so fucking cute.
And that's not that was not an intended thing. So I guess I didn't even know that was happening.
Yeah, there were free glasses when you came in. White
frame sunglasses. Yeah, no lie. Like I wear white glasses. Everybody is kind of aware of it.
I love that. That's so cute.
So it was weird, like looking out, and I was like, "There's a bunch of people in white sunglasses. Like, what the fuck is happening here?"
They were handing them out when you came in. I was like,
Yeah.
"This is so cool."
Yeah, it's
Like,
pretty funny.
hell yeah.
And maybe they'll keep doing that. It'll be funny.
And I mean, I already used to do that just to make fun
He
of them
did
anyway.
just to make fun of me. Yeah. So I'm part owner of this federation, right?
Absolutely.
So then my other roles are we film it for local television, ProView Sports Network. So we film it and they chop it up into 30-minute. It's a 2-hour show. We chop it into 30-minute increments and they show it weekly on that channel, channel 27 on Xfinity, I guess.
Sick. I
And-
have Xfinity.
Okay. And then it'll also be on YouTube.
Perf.
When like at some point, I don't like they'll put the whole thing out.
Some part in the editing process.
Yeah, so I'm also one of the commentators.
Amazing.
So I sit in the booth and we do commentating. But I'm also the commissioner,
What does a commissioner do?
quote unquote. Well, so I'm going to take everybody a little behind the scenes here.
Ooh.
We're going to break kayfabe, is what they call it.
I love that.
So it's really interesting. Have you ever been in a play?
Comcast Channel 26.
26.
Saturdays at noon.
Have you ever been in a play?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, okay.
It's been fucking forever.
It's really very similar.
Okay.
It's very weird. Like you go in and nobody tell anybody about this, okay? This is between you and I, all of you
All
listening.
of us.
All of us together.
So we get there early. Everybody's there, like the doors are at 6. We're there at like 3. And we're, tweaking everything. We're tweaking the lighting. We're, some guys are in the ring and they're working through a match or two or whatever. And, people are in the back. There's like a doctor back there doing physicals. There's all that stuff happening, right? And then, they have what's called the rundown.
Okay.
And that's a script.
Okay.
And it goes match by match. And it's like, well, this is a person that's going over. This is how the ending of the match is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the agent for that match. So there's the 2 wrestlers. Smiley's walking in with the dog. There's the 2 wrestlers, the referee, and the agent
Got
for
it.
each match. So they're all in cahoots in the match. So the agent is gonna go with is gonna work with the ref and the 2 wrestlers, and he's gonna say, hey, here's what the booker's the guy who creates the script.
Mm-hmm.
And the agent is going to say, okay, this is what the booker wants. They want...
Holy crap.
Wow.
I know. I'm sorry.
Where is she?
Underneath the table.
Oh. And so the agent will be like, okay, such and such is going to go over. This is how he wants to do. During the match, this is the pace we want. This is the tone we want to create for the audience. Like, they're going to be like, last time he beat you really fast. So this time you are more focused and angry, and you're going to be more brutal, and you know what I mean?
Amazing.
And so they're telling them how they want it to go over.
It's so cool.
And it's really like a play. So then after the first event, we had so the main wrestler, the Hulk Hogan for our federation, his name is Hobo Hank.
Hobo Hank.
Yeah.
Hobo
And they'll be like
That
fighting,
slides off the tongue really easy.
and they'll say fighting out of the alleyway behind the frontier.
Yes.
And it's the whole thing. And he comes out. He's a lot out of shape. He's dirty. He has a cardboard thing that says "We'll wrestle for food." God
I love
bless.
that.
And people. And we'll get to that. Brody, quit. Where is she? So anyway, we have so the villains are from Texas, and that's part of it.
Texas.
They're from Texas. They're from Lubbock.
Texas.
So the guy shows up the last time. He comes in, and they're in the first event we had. they're like they tell me, like, as commissioner, you're going to come out after the second match. You're going to have the microphone. You're going to be like, hey, thank you. You know, I'm glad everyone came out. You know, there was a lot of hard work put in, and I'm kind of doing like the bow for us. And they're like, as soon as you say this, the music's going to hit, and they're going to come out and interrupt you. And the thing that they had it written down, they're like, is everyone having a really good time tonight? And as soon as I said that, bom, 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 the music hits, and the villains come out.
The villain.
Well, so before the
Texas.
before the whole thing, the guy shows up, and we're all meeting, and we're like, oh, hey, how's it going on? And he's like, okay. So he and I are working together because, you know, it's our segment.
Right.
And he's like, I'm going to come out, and I'm going to be like, I hate this place because the parking is so bad. And I'm like, stop. No one will care. We all think it sucks, too.
Yeah.
Here's what you're going to talk shit about. Lowriders.
Oh, my God.
And you're going to say that the green chili is better in Colorado.
Oh, no.
And he looks at me, and he goes...
Those are fighting words.
And he goes, and people are going to get mad at that? And I said, dude, you might get killed. You might literally get killed. So he comes out. He interrupts me. And he's like, I hate this place. He's like, if Matthew Robles didn't pay us to come here to take Hobo Hank, I would never be here. He's like, your cars are so slow and low because all of your women are fat.
Oh!
And people fucking get like, fuck, holy shit, what did you just say? And then he goes, and another thing. I've had green chili in Trinidad, Colorado, and it is way better than the green chili. And he doesn't even get finished.
Yeah, I know.
And a slice of pizza hits him in the face. And
From the crowd?
Yeah. And some dude goes, if you're here at the end of this, I'm killing you.
Oh, my God.
Someone screams it out. And so then
No.
and so that was the first one, right? So last night they're like, okay, here's your segment. I'm like, okay, you're gonna be, you know, at the commentating booth, and one of our New Mexico wrestlers is gonna be wrestling one of the Texas guys, and he's gonna get brutal and start beating him down, and he won't stop, and they're gonna disqualify him, and he's gonna keep beating him down, and you're gonna get fed up and run down there and stop it because you're the commissioner. So I do. I run down there and I stop it. I'm like, stop. And the guy stops. I'm like, you need to get to the back or you're going to be out of here. You'll never wrestle here again, you know? So the guy leaves. So I'm over there helping the kid. And this was actually, like, that was the written in the script.
Yeah.
That he's supposed to be hurt. Legitimately, he broke his arm halfway through the match.
Oh, what the?
So he legitimately was hurt.
Oh, no.
Because he put his hand down when he shouldn't have. You know, skateboarders know. And seasoned veteran wrestlers know when you get body slammed, you don't put your hand down to catch yourself.
You just take the body.
So it was like, so it ended up being legitimate anyway.
Yeah, you technically.
So we get him out, and they're like taking him to the hospital. Well, I'm out there in the ring, and I'm just kind of like, and then all of a sudden the villain, their music hits, and they come out, and well, it's like a guy and his girlfriend, and then another wrestler, right?
Okay.
And in the last time, so Hobo Hank, one of his maneuvers is he puts his armpit in your face.
Oh, no.
Because he's a homeless guy. He stinks. Well, he pitted the lady the last time, right? So her thing is she's like, you know, your Hobo Hank put his hands on me and he stuck his armpit in my face and it's disgusting. And she's like, New Mexico won't let a woman fight a man or I would. And you don't have any women wrestler here or I would fight her and I would show everyone how I'm the best wrestler or female wrestler in wrestling.
Oh?
Well, then music hits and our first female wrestler comes out.
I love that.
And I'm like, oh. And I'm like, whoa, what are you doing out here? And she's like, I've got my gear. I can wrestle tonight.
I'm ready.
So then I lean back and I like think about it. I'm like, give me the microphone. And they give me the microphone. I'm like, well, I was like, we were going to announce our first women wrestler that we signed yesterday, you know, Eliza Hayes. We were just going to bring her out and introduce her to everybody because you guys wanted women's wrestling. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, you guys want a women's match tonight? And
everyone's like, fuck yeah.
I was like, well, you're going to have one. I said, because I'm the commissioner, and it's going to be Eliza Hayes versus Veronica, whatever her last, Vega. And she's like, I don't even have my gear. And I'm like, well, that's your problem. And she goes, you can't make that match. And I'm like, I'm the commissioner.
I just did.
And I can make that match. And I just did. I said that.
That's what he said, yeah.
And that was my segment. And it was amazing.
That's
and there's pictures
so
of it.
epic.
I think
and that match was great.
Yeah, it was fun.
Did the ladies
Let's
kill
see.
it?
Oh,
They
yeah.
killed that shit.
They were
Wow.
actually really good. And actually, the Veronica Vega is probably the most trained wrestler in the whole group. She's probably the best trained one. But
She was amazing. Look at her over there.
Yeah, she's the one on the far left. She was actually trained by a guy named Dory Funk Jr., huge legend in the business. Him and his brother Terry Funk, the Funk U, the
Honestly,
Funkin' Conservatory.
Awesome marketing names.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But that's her little Eliza Hayes, and so yeah, that's me telling them that she's gonna wrestle, and I think that's fun.
I love that.
I had such a great, and
I
people
can't wait to see
people
this.
are like, are you like living your dream? And I was like, pretty much.
I can't wait to see this.
It's
shit.
fun. It's a lot of fun. It's so fun.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
In person too. We need more of that. I was
It's-
obsessed with WWE
Oh.
growing up.
Oh yeah.
So this is awesome.
Well, and it's funny too, because like Hobo Hank. Okay, so you'll have all these matches, pre, and people will do all these different maneuvers and to get over and get the crowd and all this shit,
Yeah.
and some, like there's a guy who's like a clown and he's like really over.
Happy.
And they did a whole thing where like he was wrestling this guy who's like Valak Vile. He's like supposed to be a magician, and
That was hilarious.
Vile got thrown out of the ring, and then Mr. Happy's like talking to the ref, and he like Vile got something from out under the ring, and Happy goes to grab him, and it was a glitter cannon, and he's like boof and shoots it in his face, and stuff like that. People like go crazy for.
We love that shit.
But then I was like, God damn it, there's glitter everywhere now. But it's so funny because they do all these moves, and people like they'll be into it, and they're like kind of whatever. Hobo Hank comes out, like that Mr. Bojangles song hits, and people stand up, and he does it takes him like the whole song to get. He walks around through
The
the
whole
crowd,
song.
and he
Oh,
gets in
good
the
for
ring,
him.
and I think he does a clothesline, punches. Maybe a body slam, and then his tornado DDT. He does not do more than that.
Good for him.
And the crowd, and then Fonzie LaFleur is one of our big wrestlers. He's awesome. Fonzie's a wild card, man. He's a lot of fun. But Hobo Hank, and Fonzie's another guy that doesn't have to do a whole lot, and the crowd gets into it. But Hobo Hank, like, that's all he does. And I mean, people will have goosebumps, and they're like, that was fucking insane. And you're like, he did 3 moves. But he knew how to, like, it's all the crowd psychology.
It was
It
so
is.
smooth.
Yeah.
And especially like that building up to that.
Oh,
you know What
yeah.
I mean? Like, do you remember like fucking was it Rikishi back in the day?
I-
He would just like shove his ass in people's face.
I've done a panel for him. I've
Did
met him.
you?
Yep.
That's so cool.
Super nice guy.
Oh, that was
Um,
awesome. Back in the day, those were
His
the days.
his nephew is a friend of mine. He lives here, Saleh.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Holy shit.
And so the funny thing too was the first time I ever met Saleh was my roommate's a musician, and we're watching WrestleMania, and he's like, "Yeah, my friend Saleh's cousins are wrestling at WrestleMania." I was like, "I'm sorry, what did you say? You said your friend's cousins are wrestling at WrestleMania?" And he goes, "Yeah," and he goes, "Oh, the Usos," and I was like, "Your friend Saleh's Samoan," and he goes, "Yeah, how'd you know?" I was like, "Because they're all Samoan." And he goes,
The good ones.
And I said, "So he's related to The Rock?" And he goes, "Oh, yeah."
Oh, Jesus.
And I was like, yeah,
Christ.
because all the Samoan wrestlers are related. Almost all of them. I don't know if Samoa Joe is, but because they had the big thing in WWE like for the last 2 years, the bloodline, because they're all Samoan.
I did not fucking know that.
Oh yeah,
What?
it's been like the biggest like storyline.
What?
It's like been the biggest storyline for like the last 2 years. Probably one of the biggest storylines wrestling has ever had.
I'm gonna have to keep up with that shit.
Yeah,
now.
because Roman Reigns is the
love
the,
him.
the champion, and then the Usos were like his underlings, and then
Yep.
they brought in Solo, another one of them, and then like Rikishi or whoever would pop in and out because they're all the bloodline. They're like
What about was it
the big the Reigns.
Bautista?
He's not one of the bloodline. I don't know. Is he Samoan?
I honestly don't really fucking know.
Well, when I was a kid growing up, there was the Samoan SWAT team, and that was Rikishi and his brother Sam Fatu.
I remember him.
Yeah, and so then one of them had Roman. I don't watch shows I'm not on.
Oh.
Oh.
You're on this show right now, Fonzie. But Roman Reigns, they call him the tribal chief.
Yes.
And so he's the son of Sam, I think. Yeah. And then
Wait, really?
Sam Fatu, and then Rikishi's the dad of the Usos. Yeah,
Oh
and
my
then
God,
do you
I'm
remember
so
do
behind.
you remember Yokozuna?
No.
You don't remember Yokozuna, the big he was like a big what do they call those wrestlers in Japan?
Sumo.
Sumo wrestler. But he was literally he was not Japanese, he was Samoan.
I didn't. I'm gonna have to like go back and start
Yeah.
redoing everything because oh my god,
Yeah.
I was in love with WrestleMania.
Oh, yeah.
WWF.
I got to go this year.
This is insane.
I was there.
What?
I was there. Yeah, we got to go as press.
What?
Yeah, me and
That's
Fred.
So cool.
Me and Fred, one of the partners for DCCW.
That's
And
amazing.
we were there both nights, and it is fucking
Crazy.
85,000 people there. That is the most surreal thing I've ever seen. Like, you look out at it, and it looks like a green screen.
It's just
And you're like, that doesn't look like real, you know?
and it's real people.
And it's real.
They're obsessed.
And then they had, like, at the SoFi Stadium in L.A., they had this big, like, it looked like a weightlifting belt up in the air, and that was the LED screen. Like,
Oh.
it was that shape. And it was on both sides, the inside and the out.
oh, they have
So you
money.
could just and 85,000 people both days.
a lot of
And
money.
it was pretty cool, man.
That would
I-
be so cool to see.
Yeah.
So jealous.
My favorite part though is like, you know who Rey Mysterio Jr. is?
Actually, not Junior, because the last time I saw, it was what is it called when it was blue and red? They're clashing. at that time.
Raw versus SmackDown.
Yes, so they were here in Albuquerque years ago when I was little. My grandma was in town. She's from Hawaii, and it was my grandma, my dad, and myself, and we went, and it was the most exhilarating experience as a child.
Well, but you know who Rey Mysterio is?
Yeah, and that was the time I saw him, and I was obsessed with Rey Mysterio.
So his son Dominic is a wrestler now.
Wait, what? Fuck, I'm so outdated.
Well, but the funny thing is like Dominic Mysterio, like when he was a little kid, they did this whole like angle where Eddie Guerrero said Dominic is my son, and it was like a whole thing, right? And so like Dominic is like he's taller than Ray. That's not the picture I want. There it is. That's okay. So now Dominic, when he comes out, he wears the haircut of like Eddie Guerrero.
Oh,
He has
jeez.
the same haircut.
So he's a villain, right? So he
Yeah.
started out as like goody two shoes and people hated him, and now he's a villain and he's like the best villain in WWE, right?
I love that.
So there was something that happened that he like got arrested for, like not really,
Yeah,
but like
yeah.
in the storyline,
story.
they arrested him and he was in jail for 2 hours, and he comes out and he's like,
I think I remember this
and so it was like this year, and so he's like, I'm changed. He's like, jail is changes a man, and
2
he got
hours.
he got the tattoo under his
Oh, not
eye,
the tattoo.
and so he does the whole thing like he's like, you don't understand. He's like, I was in jail. So at WrestleMania, they fought. So they do Rey Mysterio's music, and he comes out and people are going nuts for it because it's California and Rey Mysterio the 619.
Mm-hmm.
Dominic's music hits. And there's a huge ramp that they are coming down. He doesn't come down the ramp. They have like a doorway that opens up, and LA County lockup van backs up. They get out, they open the back, and he's got chains. He's chained on his wrists and to his feet, and they get him out and unlock him so he can go out and wrestle.
Honestly, we love an epic entry.
And I
Good
was
for
like,
him.
this is amazing. And people are like, boo, you were in jail for 2 hours.
2 hours.
And it's just amazing.
Holy shit! I need to keep up with that shit.
But we had so much fun last night. I mean, Fonzie, he's that guy, Fonzie LaFleur. I don't know how old Fonzie is. He could be 30, he could be 40, he could be 60. I am not sure. And he's still watching. He is there every time the ring needs to be set up. He is there every time the ring needs to be broke down, and he will set the ring up. He doesn't like other people to do it because he wants to do it right. And I appreciate that. That is
Absolutely.
amazing. And hardworking guy. So before the match, he's like stretching. And he does this stretch where he like lays on his back and he uses his head and he tilts back and he like bridges up.
We love a good bridge.
And I'm like, oh gosh. And he's like just stretching. I'm like, he made me feel old looking at it. He's like, I'm over 100.
Good for you, Fonzie.
Yeah. Good for
Hey.
Fonzie. But yeah, he's a character, and I enjoy it. That's the thing, is all of them are characters, you know?
You have to be.
They're performers.
Yeah, you have to be.
They are.
If you don't have your little swag going on, you're not going to survive.
Well, and you're in the service industry, you're a bartender.
Mm-hmm.
You perform.
Absolutely. We perform
Yeah.
every day.
Because you have to come in and you're like, oh gosh, my uncle died, but I have to come into shift and I have to act like I'm not upset about it, or not that extreme, but you know what I mean.
Absolutely.
Your car broke down and the air conditioning died in your house, and you have to walk in and be like, "Hey, how are you?"
Everything's great.
I have walking pneumonia.
Yeah, I have walking pneumonia. I have, in James's case, I have botulism.
I did actually call in for that.
Oh, well, that's good.
I was in the hospital. They wouldn't let me leave.
Lazies.
I know. I was like, but I have to go to work.
I'm like a doctor.
Actually, speaking of that, when I was in Hawaii, I used to ride mopeds a lot,
Oh, wow.
consistently. It was great because it was cheap. You know what I mean? Each week, $7 for gas. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I miss my scooters.
I love mopeds. I'm a huge sucker for them. Anyways,
They're fun.
I get into a hit and run accident.
Did you see my electric bike over here?
I did not, bro.
Oh, I'll show it to you before we leave.
Let me take it for a spin.
You can if you want.
I just eat shit.
Oh, hope not.
Anyways, I get into a hit and run accident as I'm headed to work in Hawaii.
Oh.
And I'm like sitting there just like fucked up, obviously. I'm alright, I get up. And I'm late to my shift, obviously. And I text them, hey, I'm definitely running late. I'm going to still show up because even I said, oh, I got into a hit and run accident on my moped. Who the fuck is going to believe me? Anyways, I show
one,
up.
weirdly.
No one will ever will.
No one ever does.
My pants are all fucked up. My knees are jacked up. I'm bleeding on my elbows and a little bit on my chin.
Gaping head wound.
Literally, I like walk up and my moped barely alive, and I'm like, oh, fucked up. And then the opening bartender, he was just like, oh fuck, are you okay? I'm like, oh, now you care after you just bitched my ass out over text, like, where the fuck are
Right.
you? This is ridiculous that you are 20 minutes late.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you fucking bitch.
How dare you?
How dare you?
But then in the flip of that, whenever you're on shift and it's someone's supposed to come in and relieve you, you're like, where in the fuck are they at?
Absolutely.
I have a similar story to this. I was working in a French restaurant here in town, and not just me, but one of the other waiters, Brandon. We'd both gotten hit on our scooters, and so we're trying to call in. Both of us trying to call in to work,
That's so hard to say.
and our manager's all, yeah, whatever.
Right.
You guys probably shouldn't use the same story.
You're
Oh,
like, you
wow.
both are just like, fuck.
And then as we come limping in, all of a sudden the manager's just all, oh my God.
You guys are fucked up.
Yeah, we're like, I got hit by a car. Apparently so did Brandon.
Jesus. Guys just driving around hitting people.
It's like he hit him with his car and he hit him with his
We both had scooters. We were on scooters and we got hit. And it's like, well, at least come up with different stories. And like, this had nothing to
Fortunately, this
do
is the
with
truth.
each other. And we had to do this little thing where like, who's more damaged? Who should actually go home?
Yeah, which one of you is worse off?
Because it
You're
was,
like, my kneecap is shattered.
it's like we couldn't actually have two
Well, 'cause then-
waiters limping around at a fine dining French restaurant.
Well, because then all of a sudden the day person has to pull a double.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the worst.
I mean.
But yeah, our
Yeah.
manager was just like,
I've had
Oh.
to do it.
oh man. Oh, you guys both really got hit by cars? Oh.
Good
Yeah.
timing.
So you lived in Hawaii. Are you from Hawaii?
I am from Hawaii. I
Like
was
born and raised?
I was born in Hawaii. My dad's military, and I was raised in Albuquerque. But I
Okay.
moved back.
They're similar, right?
Basic, very
But
close.
Same place.
Very close. Very close. No, and then I moved back for a little bit, and I was hanging out with my grandma, just enjoying life, making a fuck ton of money. God damn it, yeah, I was making a lot of money. But then I moved back because COVID hit, and I was really worried about
Oh.
my mom, honestly. I was like, you know what, I guess this is a time because Albuquerque's cheaper. You know what I mean? I'm going to
Oh,
start
yeah.
some roots. I bought a house. I'm like, I'm going to be so successful after I buy a house. I'm like,
Did
here
you-
I am with a house.
Did you
Not
buy a
successful.
house before everything?
I bought a house kind of, what was it? Last year, actually.
I got mine. This is I want to say October. No. I closed January of 2021.
Nice.
And I got it like I had started it right when everything exploded.
Yeah.
So I got in like I got this place for like 175.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
I could not skin of my teeth.
But you got it.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Yeah. And everybody's like,
Good
I
for
tell
you.
people and they're like, "Wow, what?" Cuz it's about 2,000.
Yeah. Well, now it is,
Square feet.
especially. Well, sorry, like 2,000 plus, or
Yeah.
like what? But damn, you got it for that much
Mm-hmm.
square footage, and especially this little back area.
The studio
Badass.
was like
Well,
the whole point of it, right?
And then the zoo's right there. There's only one neighbor.
You're right.
And then there's
he's
elementary
deaf.
school, junior high, and high school within 2 miles.
And that park right across the street.
And then a new one over here. They built that new one. They just finished it.
Got
you
a
know,
choice little area,
yeah.
dude. What?
Yep. I
Around
was
that
like,
time.
"Whew." And this is where I wanted to be.
Perfect.
Like my landlord, my realtor. Like so many people want to be my realtor. Mm-hmm. But I had already like chosen the guy because he's a drummer in a lot of the bands.
Cool.
And he knew. He's like you know. So when he comes in, he goes, we're gonna go to the North Valley. We're gonna go to Bernalillas. We're gonna go to downtown, and we're gonna go to the South Valley, and those are the only places we're gonna go. I'm like, okay, because like other people were like, I want to show you this house in Rio Rancho and on the west side. I was like, nope.
Absolutely
No.
not.
Don't even-
Those houses are so trash.
Don't even waste your time.
Public transit doesn't even go out there.
No.
Everyone hates it. It's so.
Yeah. What part of
Dusty.
town? What part of town did you buy a house?
I live in the Heights, so like Lomas and Montebello area.
She's all.
So don't touch me. I'm just kidding. No,
You're all,
it was.
I'm from the Heights. Don't touch me. Get
no, it was
back.
really close to my dad, and I was like,
Oh.
"Fuck yeah!"
Nice.
And honestly, it was it's a cute townhouse.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, I think it's like 1,600 square feet,
That's
which is
fucking
pretty
good.
good.
That's a
Two
good
bedroom,
size.
2 bath. It's
Oh,
just
yeah.
me and my dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're just chilling. No HOA. A townhouse that I'm only connected on one side.
I wouldn't do an HOA.
Nice.
No HOAs. Fuck HOAs.
Is it 2-story? I guess it's 2-story.
It's
yeah.
not 2-story.
Oh, it's not.
And I am so happy. It's just a really tall roof.
Oh,
And
it's
I
like
love that.
what do they call it? Vaulted ceilings.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like boom, and then it cuts off, and then I have a single car garage.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that's all I need in life.
Fonzie says he wants to go back to the trailer park.
As you
and
should.
He bartended at one time at Muggy's Lounge. I don't even know what that is.
I don't know what Muggy's is.
I think Fonzie's so old, it's probably not something in our lifetime.
So he's maybe 60.
Maybe. I don't know.
Fonzie?
I thought he said over 100, right?
He could be.
Oh, shit.
That's a fair assessment.
I plan to be over 100, so
I
mean,
do not.
I hope I don't.
You know what? Okay. So I forgot about this. I went. So my grandfather died this last week. He was 96, and everybody's like, I'm sorry, and I'm like, yeah.
That's a
thank-
long
thanks.
life.
So 7 brothers and sisters, 4 of them lived into the 90s,
That's amazing.
right? And everybody's like, you might do that. I'm like, I don't know if I want
I
to.
don't want to be
Yeah, but I'm from.
Kind of happens, dude.
I'm from. Well, we'll see.
doing podcasts at
Mhm.
98.
No, I mean everyone in my family lives to be 100, so it's
Yeah.
like it just happens whether you want it to or not.
So
Shit.
I was kind of forced to go back to the town I'm from, which is Clovis, New Mexico.
Cute.
And we go back, and my girlfriend goes with me, and so we go down there. The main street of Clovis when I left was dead as dead gets, as main streets get. We get down there. There's 3 breweries across from each other, all like within a block. And I'm like, whoa! One of them's Red Door.
Cute.
Red Door has like a really nice one.
Good for them.
I was like shocked because the one here is,
Wait.
it's fine.
Is that the one that has the bowling alley in it?
No.
No. So they have 2 in Clovis. One is attached to a bowling alley,
Oh.
Okay,
Yeah.
I thought so.
and then they have now one on Main Street of Clovis. It's like this old building that's 2-story. And I was just like, and so then all these like thrift shops have opened up, and the old Hotel Clovis that has been around since like the early 1900s. They were constantly trying to tear it down while I lived there. Is now apartments. Like someone bought it and refurbished it all, and now it's apartments, and it's like a thriving little area.
Okay.
And I was like, what the hell? It was like the most, I went for a funeral and got a glimpse of a town that I hated, and got a nice little positive experience about it.
I love that.
The beer we went to, I can't remember the name of the brewery. I posted something about it, but the beers were great. The food was good. I was shocked. I was like, wow.
Honestly, did not expect that from Clovis.
No.
Did not.
I'm from there and did not expect it probably more than you. I went, what the fuck is going on here? So then we're out on the street, and I'm changing out of my suit, because I'm just like on the street taking my shirt off and putting a t-shirt on, so I'm like shirtless out in the street.
Good for you.
And I hear, Chris. And I'm like, really? I'm on Main Street of Clovis where I haven't lived in 20-something, 30 years, and and it's a friend of mine.
Cute.
And I was like, holy shit. All right, fair enough. Weird. Very weird.
Not weird. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So famous.
Yeah, well.
So famous, Chris.
I'm
So
the
famous.
commissioner of DCCW.
Good for you.
Did you not know? I'm just kidding.
You, like,
Right,
better recognize.
Where's my sunglasses to make fun of
You
yours?
motherfucker.
I wish we had some. Why
well,
didn't you give
and I
some
have
to me?
glasses like that, so I make fun of him.
Yeah.
That's cute.
It goes back
Yeah,
and forth.
We go back and forth. But yeah, well, it's kind of funny because like I feel like in Albuquerque, like we had this brewery like renaissance, and it got out of hand, and now it's popped. The bubbles popped, and you have like the 4 big ones.
Breweries are fucking everywhere.
Yeah, but someone made like our old co-host Billy made a really good point about this. Like the Brewers Guild, or whatever they are, they have done a killer job of keeping outside breweries out. Mm-hmm. Like if you go to a place like that had like a tap room, you're gonna have La Cumbre, Marble, Bosque Brewing.
Yeah, if you don't have Elements on Parade, like what
Oh,
kind
yeah,
of
right.
bar are even?
You're gonna have like all those, and then like several of each, right? But you're not gonna see like ska. You're not gonna see like Stone.
So little amount.
No.
So little.
And like someone's like, so what? I'm like, okay, but if you go to Texas and you walk into a tap room, you're gonna have, you're gonna have ska, Stone, Blue Moon. Mm-hmm. Then you're gonna have your Bud Light, Miller Lite,
the basics.
Modelo,
Dos Equis.
Dos
Yeah,
Equis.
Dos Equis.
Always.
But here, like you go to a place and you might go to like a hotel bar, and they'll have the Modelo, the Dos Equis, Blue Moon, but they'll have La Cumbre Elevated. They'll have Elephants on Parade. They'll have the Double White. They'll have the Cerveza. Cerveza
Yeah.
is like everywhere. You might have a Santa Fe, but I went to DC, and every bar I went to, they didn't have any. Like they had no local breweries, and it's weird. It's like that's so. New Mexico's done a killer job in that.
Absolutely.
I mean, you probably. Do you work in bars now that have tap handles, or is it all just like?
Actually, I will be starting,
Yeah.
but it will be at a different brewery, Rio Bravo. I love that place.
You're gonna work at Rio Bravo?
Yeah, they have some killer
Okay.
beer there, bro.
Fantastic.
Fonzie.
If you like hazies, fuck, I love their Freak Juice IPA.
Yeah. Fonzie only drinks High Life.
Honestly, that's literally called the bartender's champagne.
Yeah, that works.
We love some good High Life.
We have the actual Miller High Life champagne bottle right here. It's like the full size
Ooh.
that you actually cannot get anymore.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
But Smiley's he's in the liquor industry, so he gets
Yeah, when I'm not acting, I do work in the liquor industry.
Good for you.
He works
Good.
at the Bird of Paradise.
I do.
Good for you.
You're all.
I was like,
oof.
oh,
Oh
I'll be
Jesus. Y'all, I'll go get Bird of Paradise.
I'll throw my flak jacket on.
You're
and
all.
my,
You're all. I'll come get beer there during the day.
dual
There you go.
asps. I don't. I only have one asp. No, I have 2 asps. I just don't wear them at the same time.
That's okay. Take your time.
For people that don't know, the Bird of Paradise where Smiley works is it's in a neighborhood that's a little tough. Tough is a word, right?
Tough is a good one.
Tough, yeah.
Healthy.
You probably shouldn't if you're from a new place and you're moved here, you probably shouldn't hang out in that area. Probably not.
Or do it. Get the full
Oh.
experience of Albuquerque.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe this
See
is like
Smiley.
the most Albuquerque
Yeah.
place for you to
So
go.
I was on the Albuquerque Reddit the other day, and someone posted, "Is it just me or am I dumb?" And they posted that I just moved to Albuquerque a couple months ago, and everywhere I go, people are rude to me. Is that just how people from Albuquerque are? And the answer was amazing. And the answer was, I've lived in Albuquerque my whole life, and everybody who's lived here is always nice.
Yeah.
Until recently, when the influx of all the new people come in,
Yeah.
and they have made it to where they are not nice. So maybe you're running to your own kind. And I went,
Ooh.
There you go.
That is a good one, actually.
you know,
Wow.
and let me tell you this. So there's a farmer's market over here, a grower's market. I'm sure you're aware of it.
Absolutely.
If you live in Albuquerque, you're not aware of the growers market downtown. I don't know where you live. 'Cause
Yeah, where are you at?
that thing
I'm
is
like,
a
you gotta
fucking.
go.
That thing. Well, I don't think that. That place.
I love it, though. It's entertaining.
I heard a lady say in front of me, "Get me a chili relleno." She had on a big wide brim tan hat, blonde hair, and she said, "Get me a chili relleno if they have it." It's fine. I just feel like that we may need another one somewhere else in town to.
It's so entertaining.
It's okay. So I see what you're saying, because you're looking at all these people.
You're just people watching.
Yeah, fuck yeah, you do.
You're people watching.
So the other day, my coffee shop is on the other side of it.
Okay.
So I have to drive around it to get to the coffee shop, and then I walk in, and like there's been a couple of situations that have happened. Like, like there's always a lot of people in there, in a huge line on that Saturday. I get to the front, and I've ordered my coffee, and I'm waiting for it, and this guy walks up and he goes, "Do you have anything that is hydrating?" And they go, "Water?
What?
Water?" And he goes, "Come on." And I'm like, "You asked that question, dum-dum.
I have
You
beer."
threw that softball into the air. They blasted it over the fence. Like, what did you want the answer to be?
Yeah.
Do you have
Literally.
anything that's hydrating? Fucking water, dum-dum. Right? That's the only answer.
Yeah,
And-
we totally have water.
And of course, he was from somewhere else.
Of course.
But then another week later, I'm driving back.
Do they want
and
lies?
The thing that drives me crazy
Hot bean juice. That's what I got for you.
is all these people who just refuse, like if they're from another state that's neighboring us, they give fucks about the traffic laws, it seems like. So
that's
so
lovely.
downtown there's like a lot of two-way stops. If I'm at the stop sign and you have the drive-through and you stop like it's a four-way stop, fuck you.
I'm
Like,
gonna go.
Well, so this person does that, and then they get mad because I won't
Go.
because I'm at a stop sign and they're not. So then they zoom over into a fire lane to park.
Oh, cute.
Because why can't they?
Why not?
So then they have their window rolled down. So I roll my window down, and I go back to Texas, and they flip me off out the window. And it's like, you're lucky I didn't want to stop.
You're lucky. I'm trying to obey
But,
the law.
and I also know you're going to do that to the wrong motherfucker here,
Dude, I know.
and you're going to get dealt with.
I know. I have a bat in my car,
Yeah.
and people are like, "Why do you have a bat in your car?" I'm like, dude, it's not that I'm gonna do something, but people really don't know what the fuck is gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Then the other frustration is
My business literally bought me a bulletproof
Yeah.
jacket.
the other frustration is the roundabout. Everyone needs to Google the rules of a roundabout here.
Not everyone.
So
but
I- hold on.
I mean,
So the other day this happened to me. I pull up to it. So for people who don't know, if you pull up to the roundabout, if someone's to the left of you and they're coming into the roundabout, you let them go. This person pulls into the roundabout
They stop in it.
and stops
Oh,
for
no.
me to go.
Love it.
no,
and
you're
I'm
supposed
like-
to yield.
I'm like, go!
You
Go!
stupid. You're all screaming.
Stupid
You're like,
motherfucker.
go, go, go.
And then I shake my head at them like, fuck you.
Fucking idiots.
Because they've just fucked it all up. They fucked up the whole
That's
idea.
the whole
The whole point of the
the
fucking thing.
movement.
And yeah. No.
Who are I don't understand these people. Like, you just go up to a thing and like, do you see my blinker that says I'm turning left? I don't have the right of way. Ever.
Yeah.
Stop waving at me. You go.
Go.
You go.
Yeah. Like the
You idiot.
The other one is the four-way stop. If you both come up to the four-way stop at the same time, who goes first?
Someone on the left.
On the right.
The one on the right of way.
You say the right?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I always
That's the
say
right of
left.
way.
No, it's the right of way.
No, you're right. You're right. You're
Yeah.
right. You're right. Okay,
And
someone
so-
pulls up on the left of me. I go first.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And so
absolutely.
people will pull up at the same time as you. They have the right of way, and they're all, go ahead. And I'll just be like, nope. I just,
Yeah.
Duh.
After this point, I just go. I'm like, you
Yeah.
fucking idiot. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah. But I shake my head the whole time,
It's
mad.
just like
Just mad at them.
you just look at them like you
Yeah.
drive by and you look at your window and make sure like do they
Yeah.
look as stupid
Yeah.
as
This
they act?
interaction should never have
But see,
happened
you-
because
So
you
how-
should have just understood how right-of-way laws work.
But see, you guys work in the industry where you check IDs. So how many people from Texas and how many people from California really are there?
A lot. Actually,
lot.
there's a fuck ton of Colorado.
A lot. Colorado.
Oh, yeah.
Colorado. Rich Coloradoans are coming in hot, buying houses.
Really?
All 3 different versions of the Colorado ID because I see them so often.
So often, dude.
So
it's
here's
crazy.
Here's where we have a light at the end of the tunnel a little bit. I read an article yesterday that the Airbnb industry is down
Fuck yeah, it is.
40-something%. Mm-hmm. And now all these people who bought all these extra houses
SOL.
are struggling. Good. So
Yeah.
they're going to have to sell them.
Yep.
And
I would like to have a house.
there you go.
A lot of people.
And that's good because that's a lot of it that killed that are fucking shit up. Mm-hmm. And they've done nothing here to stop it.
Yep.
Like in Atlanta or in Georgia, you can own 3, but one of them has to be your private residence.
Yeah.
You can have your private residence, so you allow someone to stay there, and then 2 extra.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great news.
Yeah. And it's like, you can't have an empire of houses that you.
Absolutely.
That's called being a slumlord.
That's
Yeah.
literally being a dick. What is it? In Hawaii, they recently changed not too long ago where if you are going to have an Airbnb, you have to be on premise.
Right.
You know what I mean? You have to be. You can't just be like, there's a key in this lockbox, go in, whatever. And like, you
Right.
have to be living
And
there.
you're in another state.
Yeah, you can't do that anymore.
No.
And it tanked the
yeah.
people in Hawaii, or at
That's
least the
great.
people who
Yeah.
own Airbnbs in Hawaii, which is awesome.
Yeah. So
But-
I'm just gonna lay this out there.
Lay it out.
People from here, we are tough as fuck. You can try to come in here, change everything, make it better, bring in your culture, and it will not work.
It won't.
We will burn something to the ground, literally. We will. Remember when that was happening? They were building like those big apartments.
Those
and
apartments
they
Oh, yeah.
Central.
They burned
Fuck.
those to the ground.
Arsonists.
They burned
That's
they burned the
crazy.
Old Navy and then several Starbucks to the ground. It was like fucking Fight Club, real life.
There's I used to work with someone at the Hyatt, and he was like, what? There was a picture of me like protesting against APD,
As we do.
as you do.
As we do every 10 years.
He was so incensed. He's like, I never thought you felt this way. And I'm like, I brought a picture of me in the Daily Lobo throwing a bucket of paint onto a police substation. I was all, hey, I have a mask on, but that's me.
Yes, he told it to the public. That is me, man.
That's me, motherfucker. Hopefully that's statute of limitations, but
Oh, yeah, it's been
am
way
I
over
wrong?
7 years.
Am I wrong about any of this?
No, not at all.
I was in Founders one day, and this guy was sitting behind us. And these girls were like, where are you from? He's like, I'm from California. And he goes, I moved here, though, because it's so fucking cheap to live here. And I wheeled around, and I said, I'm sorry. I'm from here. What did you say? And he goes, I said I moved here because it's fucking cheap to live here. And I was like, well, being from here, let me tell you a story. We don't like it when people say shit like that. And he's like, well, I like it for a bunch of other reasons. And I was like,
Sure.
lead with those next time.
Yeah.
That's what I told him.
Yeah.
And the bartenders were like, fuck. And I was like, that's how I feel about it. And then one day I came in and they're like, oh, we wish you were here yesterday. Some dude was bitching like, you guys need to do something about the crime here. And here's what I say about that. No. It's part of our culture. We like it.
Hey,
Go fuck yourself.
We weren't ranked number 2 for no reason
Fucking
for
A.
crime.
So the other day,
There's a bullet hole through my front door.
front door, no lie, I go to there's a McDonald's and a Sonic down the street over here in a Circle K. I drive down to the McDonald's to get coffee, and I turn into the fucking pothole-ridden parking lot. There's a Hummer H2 on blocks.
Why?
All
They're
4
huge.
wheels, our 4 wheels gone. Gone.
On blocks.
On blocks. And I'm like, hell
Nice.
yeah. Fuck yeah, I took a picture.
Nice. Absolutely. I think, you know what blows my mind is, okay, so you bring friends in town, whatever. They're obviously unaware of certain
Yeah.
things with Albuquerque.
Right.
Whatever. So as I'm pulling up to anywhere, I turn my music down. They're like, why do you keep doing that? You're ruining the vibe. I'm like, girl, do you not understand
Where
any
the
of that?
fuck we are?
It's like, dude, we're pulling up in the fucking patios right now. Like, we're getting some tacos. I'm about to show you some good food, but you cannot be blasting your music like that.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you
No,
can't be
just
showing
don't.
off.
You don't be you are walking
no.
advertisement. And they're like, I just don't get it. I'm like, have you ever been robbed before?
Yeah,
And I was like, it clearly states that you've never been robbed before.
right. You don't know. You have no idea.
And it
It's
blows my mind.
it's called making yourself a target.
Yeah. And they're like, I don't get it. I'm like, it's fine. Like,
They're all.
Street
well, why
smarts
would,
is not it
well, why
in
would you
you.
want to live here? And like, well, this is where I'm from.
like, do you not want good tacos, bro?
There's the picture. I'm showing her the picture.
It looks like a little tofu. It's so cute.
All four wheels are gone. It's up on blocks, and I'm like, part of me is like, I hope they were like that. What a gas guzzler! Let's take all the tires.
Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly, the tires would be epic on those.
Oh yeah.
I also would take those
Wow.
tires.
You know what's awesome about that though is like they've made a new Hummer, and it's all electric.
That's
And-
lame.
No.
Is it like a Lego car?
Oh no, it's amazing.
Really?
It can outpull that one.
Really?
Fuck yeah. Electric cars have way more torque. Like it can pull that could pull like a fucking tank around.
Wait, can you show me what this electric Hummer looks
Oh,
like?
it looks awesome. Like
I don't know.
I
I'm
watched
a
the
little
video.
Scared. I don't know how I feel about
Yeah.
Hummer trucks.
And you can do that to it.
How do y'all really feel about Hummer trucks?
I
That's
don't
technically a
I
truck.
I hate them, but like
Yeah.
I hate Hummers altogether, but an electric one and it's it's four-wheel drive and it outperforms the other ones. I watched a video where they had both. They had the original H1, the one the military had, versus that one, and
It-
it outpulled that one.
It just
Fuck
ruined them.
Because the electric cars are the amount of torque they have is
Amazing.
unbelievable. Yeah, I watched there's a show on HBO where Robert Downey Jr. is taking all of his like fancy cars that he has and he's eco modding them.
Oh,
And so he took
he
his
has money.
yeah. But at least
yeah,
at
he
least
does.
he's doing that though. He's like I don't want them to be bad for the environment. So they made his like old Chevy 1971 Chevy truck. They made it electric.
What?
And then they take it to a military base and it pulls one of those big deuce and a half trucks with a trailer with a tank on it because it's electric and it can
What?
fucking do that. Yeah. And
Amazing.
did you know the fastest production car right now is electric?
No, I do.
0 to 60 in like 2.1 seconds. Yeah. It's like $2 million, but
I was like, I wish I had money, man. I was like, I'm
Right.
sorry, I am from
Right.
Albuquerque, and
We're all poor.
This pay wage going on right now. Let's be honest.
I have a 1994 Mitsubishi Eclipse.
he does. And it is fantastic. It is fantastic.
It's alright, dude. I have a Toyota Camry. It's all good.
Oh,
we
man.
thriving out here.
I like the new Camrys.
I'm just
I
saying,
love
standard
Camrys.
standard transmissions work a little better in the desert in this
Yeah.
dry heat. So.
That's awesome.
That's all I can afford.
That's funny.
Yeah. Also, there's no way I can get a new car. What are you talking about?
Poor.
I will run it to the ground.
Yeah. That's what we do here.
That's what we do.
Fucking A. We survive. So let me tell you.
There's no
you,
running it to the ground, man. I've had that car for like decades now.
You think
I
you're going
keep
to come
it
in here?
going.
You think you're going to come in here and ruin our oh, Fonzie says right. Money doesn't equal wealth. That's true.
That is true.
No truer words, Fonzie. But for these people who think you're going to come in here, you're going to put a Starbucks downtown, and I know there was one off of downtown, but it's no longer there.
No
You
one
think-
even go to that.
No. You think you're going to change it all? Like my friend who he moved here from, and he's not part of the problem. He moved here from Chicago. And he goes, did you know they're revitalizing downtown? I go, yeah, Devin, they do that about every 5 years.
They do it, and it's still gonna be horde.
Yeah.
It's still gonna be horde.
I said, we're survivors. We've survived, poverty, crime, and we'll survive you.
Yeah, literally.
You can come and go.
Oh my god.
So.
Oh my god.
What's the best example? What was that Irish pub that lasted downtown for
So
like
this
a
is
week?
this is the best. I don't know if you were. Do you remember like when Maloney's was
No.
there? Okay, so Maloney's. It was when 4th Street was not all the way through, right?
Okay.
Yeah, it was just the walkway.
So Maloney's was there, and they had a patio. And Maloney's, I didn't realize they were a chain, but they were the only chain that like stayed downtown, and no one gave a shit because it, who cares? It smelled like vomit anyway.
Yeah.
So then on the corner was Sauce or Raw or whatever
Sauce
the
and
fuck
Raw
it
was on the corner.
So then there's
Oh,
so
God,
then there's
fuck that
Anodyne,
place.
right? Between Sauce and Raw, there's a building. I think they've kind of put it all together now. It's all one. But this Irish chain,
Beautiful, by the way.
called like Dublin's or something, right? They come in and they open it up.
Okay.
And it's like, I never fully walked into it, but it, had the wooden bars and like lots of tables on it.
Someone spent a lot of money.
A lot
on
of money.
this.
It was open for 3 months.
That's it?
I remember, I remember standing in line to get into the Anodyne, and because there was so many people
Yeah.
that there was a line out the door. I'm standing in line, and I'm looking in their open door, and there's
You can
one,
look right in.
and one table was taken.
Oh.
So I could have walked out of line, walked into that place, and just started drinking, but none of us would do it.
Fuck that.
And they
Not a
closed,
single person.
and they closed down.
Good for
3
them.
months.
Like, yeah, this ain't working.
And I'm like,
yeah, I heard this place is a chain. Whatever.
Trash.
Schlotsky's had a place downtown, closed down.
They did?
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not, and it's never reopened. Nothing's ever open there again.
It's hard. Downtown is hard. Truly
Well,
it is.
it depends on what it is.
Yeah. If
Yeah.
it's a chain, that will taint that business forever.
I think-
Because we're
I think
all
Oni's
local
killing it.
or nothing.
Oh, Oni's doing great, but also
Yeah.
those like, I love Oni.
Oh, it's so
One
good.
of our cocktails we use Oni's was the smoked pork fat. So we'd
Oh.
get the fat and we would literally wash it with a bourbon. Excuse me, wash it with a bourbon, and it was smoky. It was thick.
Interesting.
It was a gorgeous cocktail.
I just can't catch myself going there because it's like 100-something degrees, and I don't want to have something that's hot like that.
No, 100%.
Ugh,
100%.
but I love it so
Fuck.
much. But I'm like, I want it to cool off, so I go to Oni.
That's true.
Ugh.
At least they have the bar now.
Yeah.
There was a time when they barely had drinks, but now that they have the bar
Dude,
full setting,
I
oh,
remember
love
they
it.
opened up during the fucking shutdown, and they just had the window, and like if you didn't order for dinner by 1 p.m., they were sold out.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, yeah, I want to order. They're like, did you already place an order? Nope. Well, we're sold out for the day. And I'm like, it's 2:00 in the afternoon.
It was, dude, during the pandemic, the second shutdown, I remember because I used to work
Yeah.
at Safe House Distilling.
Yeah.
And
that's where I met you.
That's so
Yeah.
that's so cool, dude.
Yeah.
Honestly, epic times. I
Yeah.
definitely missed working there. It was really shitty how it went down.
Oh.
That is also part of that shit that we were talking about. But
Yeah.
during the second shutdown, my bartenders we would be like, "Dude, we're hungry. Let's go get some Oni."
Oh.
So I would message them. We would obviously order, support
Mm-hmm.
them, of course, and they were like, if you throw an appetizer, we're going to deliver some shots. So I'd deliver like 5 shots. I'm like,
Nice.
no one can fire me.
Illegal.
I would deliver shots. I'm like, thank you.
Actually, I work for the SID,
having-
and you're under arrest. I'm just kidding.
Just make it hot, please. So literally, I would deliver these shots. I'm like, thank you, and they would throw in some like extra edamame, some dumplings. Like, thank you for supporting us.
Yeah.
And it was a beautiful time. Honestly, you can tell that everyone was clearly struggling, but
Oh,
we had
fuck
each
yeah.
other, and that was just so awesome,
If I'd have known that, I'd have just thrown him a bottle of fucking whiskey one day.
dude. Everyone was struggling, but I loved going there just to know that I'm like,
Yeah.
I got your back, and I love your food.
Yeah. Well, and I'll end with this. And it's like I live downtown. And tell him, Brody. And it's really interesting to me because like I have these coworkers, and they'd be like, "Oh, I don't like to go downtown because this, or this is scary." And I'm like, "Oh, I don't worry about that because I have friends that work everywhere." I was like, and then I was telling one, I was like, "Yeah, we're like a community." And they're like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Well, there's a bunch of us who all live down there, and we're all a community." And so, like if I'm walking on the street and someone came up and attacked me, like my friend who works here might fucking come help me. And they were like, well, "I've never thought of it being like a place to live." I'm like, well, maybe that's why it's shitty, is because people don't think of it as a fucking place to live.
Yeah.
That people actually live down here, and when you throw your trash during the art walk, or throw your can on the ground, that it might blow in my yard, or
Everything.
who knows, yeah. Or if you're firing your AK-47 at 3 a.m, it might wake me up.
It might be like, oh, I guess I'll get up and pee. What was it? When I was at Safe House, I was working with someone, and obviously it was like a Friday night. We're closing. And, if anyone knows where Safe House is, it's like, what, 6th and Gold or something
Yeah.
like that? So it's
Yes,
right
right.
behind El Rey.
Yeah.
Right behind Founders. And one day, some people were shooting at each other in the parking lot across the street. And
As you do.
Okay, it's
I'm just
pretty,
kidding.
unfortunately, it's kind of normal.
No.
And we just quietly go on the ground.
Were they on or off 4-wheelers.
Definitely, I do not know because we didn't see it, but
You know what I'm saying.
Absolutely. So we just get on the ground. We're just like, okay, just lay it down real quick. I'm like, so what are you doing tomorrow?
Yeah.
And then I told someone what happened. They're like, were you not terrified? Why didn't you call the police? I'm like, the police ain't gonna be there, dog. They don't care. They're gone.
So I live, you see where I live. One night, about 1 in the morning, fucking insane amounts of fucking gunfire.
Yeah.
Like over in where they built that park right there. Mm-hmm. I do get out of bed and I do lay on the ground.
You're just like me.
And someone's like, "Did you call the cops?" And I go, "Yeah." Guess what I found out? It was the cops testing out
What a twist.
testing out the system where if there's a gunshot, they can triangulate where it is at and drive over there.
Wait, what? Really?
Yeah, we have that. Yeah. Oh, you didn't know we had that?
I did not know what the fuck
So,
you had that.
so we have that
Well, not me
downtown.
shooting guns. I'm just kidding.
So we have that downtown now, and if a gun is shot, they immediately know where proximity.
Wow.
So then, like a couple months later, it was like 11 a.m. on a Friday. Someone fired a gun on 6th and Gold. Yeah, because you guys were between 6th and 7th.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I lived on 6th and Silver. So it's 11 a.m. a gun goes off on 6th and Gold, in between Gold and Silver. Mm-hmm. The cops were like, "Well, we triangulated a gunshot. Go over and see who's shooting a gun."
Right.
They got over there and someone had been shot, and it was the first time. And I was like, "Whoa!"
They're like,
They found a dead person.
Wow.
Yeah,
Damn.
and I'm like, "There's also cameras everywhere. How the fuck did they not see who did that?"
There's cameras everywhere.
Fuck yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah, because like
Dude.
when that, so you know how they did that, they put that Bernalillo County building on Silver and 5th, like during the pandemic they were building it, and then as soon as they got it done, some kids were driving down Silver and they pulled out an AK-47 and they were shot all the windows out,
Jesus Christ.
and they have video of it. And he's like hanging out the car window like it's fucking Afghanistan, just firing AK-47.
Lighting him up.
Yeah. I saw the video and I was like, Jesus. All right, so what is that? Oh,
I have no idea.
whatever she found. Is it like squishy?
Super,
Oh. Hey.
Super exciting.
Well, that means.
Oh, she tore that fucking shit up.
Oh, it was foam for the microphone. Damn it.
Oh wow. Okay.
That means the show's over. I want
She
to
said,
thank.
we're done here.
I want to thank Nohelani Ader
Yeah,
for coming on the show.
3 times. Great
Yes. Hey, let us know where you're going to work at so we can patronage that place.
Absolutely.
Rio
For
Bravo.
sure.
Rio
job.
Bravo.
Brewery.
Have to come check it out.
They got good food and good beer.
Yeah, I haven't been in a while. It's been a while.
It's good shit.
I used to live over in that area.
Dude, you lived everywhere.
I lived off Broadway and Mountain, so for seven and a half years.
Very good.
So I'd go to Marble, I'd go to Hollow Spirits.
Nice.
At the time, Dialogue, Rio Bravo.
Mm-hmm. I love that area.
Tractor. And it's funny because like they call a different area of town the brewery district. I'm like, that's the brewery district. Like really, you know? Where La Cumbre is, they call the brewery district. And
That's
I'm
what
like,
I think personally.
Do
but
you?
I
Okay.
mean,
But I mean, what
It's
brewery?
growing.
It's like La Cumbre, Palmer,
Palmer's. There, I guess.
Il Vicino or Canteen. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I really don't. I don't consider any kind of district brewery.
No, because
district.
they're all over the goddamn place.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Yeah. They're everywhere. Now it's distilleries.
Fuck.
Everywhere.
That's a whole other
Whole
conversation.
other conversation. Thanks for coming on the show. Thank you,
Thank
Smiley.
you so much.
Go see Nohelani at Rio Bravo. Come out August 17th, the Duke City Championship Wrestling. Get your tickets because they are really. I'm not saying this just to sell them. Like, I looked at the tickets just a while ago and I was like, shit, a lot have sold. So, if you want a good, I mean, all the seats are good.
I honestly want to see this shit.
Yeah, you gotta go. And
Oh my
we lowered the cost for this one.
Amazing. I can afford it.
Yeah, like I think the ring sides are like 30.
Oh, that's not
The
bad.
I want to say the right behind ringside are 25, and then maybe lower than maybe 20. Well, anyway, and the GA are like 15. So
Oh, that's light work.
yeah, come on in, come check it out, come see me in the ring, come see Fonzie LaFleur wrestle. He's a wrestler.
Fuck yeah.
Check it out on ProView Network. And with that,
We are 10 drink minimum.